All right, y'all. We give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Alahym in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. This up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. I come in my Abba's name, you receive me not. The other shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Alahym only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one accuse you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. If you believe not his writings, how should you believe my word? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamahim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Hosea 1 and 10. Shalom, Amun. Shalom, me. Let's get this. Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the numbers of the sons of Yasharal shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass in the place where it was said unto them, not my people, it shall be said unto them, the sons of the living Alahym. Revelation 21 and 4. And Alahym shall wipe away all, we'll make it verse 3. And I heard a great voice out of Shamahim saying, behold, the tabernacle of Alahym with men, and he will dwell with them. And they shall be his people, and Alahym himself shall be with them, and their Alahym. And Alahym shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. And there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, it is done. I'm the Aleph and the Tav, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of water of life freely. He that overcomes shall inherit all things. And I will be his Alahym. He shall be my son. Shalom, brother Marcus. So come on, see if we can run back Leviticus 26 and 7. Let me find this question, man. Brandon had asked me about earlier today, man. And the question that he had, he said, if everything in the Ruach and in heaven has an earthly physical manifestation and vice versa, what would be the spiritual manifestation of the 12 tribes? You know what I'm saying? And we're going to answer that question in a moment, because there isn't a spiritual. You know how some people say spiritual Israel? There's no such thing. And I'm going to show you why there's no such thing in a moment. You know what I'm talking about? Prayerfully, y'all would already know the answer to that. I believe you do. You probably just wouldn't be able to string them off the top of your head right now. We didn't talk about it before. It just was never made plain. You know what I'm talking about? But come over here to Leviticus 26 and 7, man. Talk to me.
And you shall chase your enemies. They shall fall before you by the sword. 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight. Your enemy shall fall before you by the sword. If I will have respect unto you and make you fruitful and multiply you and establish my covenant with you. You shall eat old store and bring forth the old because of the new. I will set my tabernacle among you.
Do what now?
My tabernacle among you.
Do what now?
And I set my tabernacle among you.
Pause for a moment. If he set this tabernacle amongst you, guess what that means? That's the house of God, correct? I want you to pause for a moment. I want you to go to Genesis chapter 28. I want you to give me verse 14 on general principle. Make it 10.
And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went towards Haran, and he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night, because the sun was set. And he took the stones of that place. He did what now?
Hold on. He did what now?
He lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night.
He stayed there all night, huh?
Because the sun was set.
Because of what was set?
Because the sun was set.
What he did?
And he took the stones of that place and put his pillows and laid down in that place to sleep.
What y'all think that means? Y'all remember what this means? What's good, Zo? Hold on. Me can say they say the zodiac, but don't believe in signs. That doesn't be wild to me when I see Bruce be like, he's an Aries. They act like this here. You got to be the biggest goddamn fool in the history of mankind to think that somebody's personality, conduct, and thought process is dictated by stars in the sky. They got mad at some football player at the combine because he said he don't believe there's no planets out there. They started calling him stupid. Shalom, Emma Sharona. I said that's unfortunate. I already know. And they liken it to the 12 disciples. But my man was just asking, what's the spiritual equivalent to the 12 tribes? If there's an earthly manifestation of the 12 tribes, then what is the manifestation of that in heaven? You know what I'm saying? And we're going to see.
Well, somebody say like in Revelation, the tree is producing 12
manner of fruit, but That ain't the play. That's just a fruit for every month.
No, I was saying how somebody would try to tie that in with
Oh no, them niggas ain't wise enough to do that. That ain't wise enough to do that. Ah, boy, you got your fade, huh? Bald fade. Huh? Y'all don't know what verse 11 telling you about? He lighted a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took some stones and put them for his pillows and laid down to go to sleep. Tell him what pillows and sleep is. You like to go to sleep? No, you don't. You like to stay up all night. Picking boogers and looking out the window.
Pillows is Mirage Shah. That's a place at the head, dominion, a head place.
Place at the head. Not necessarily, because he talking about literally laying down and going to sleep. I thought y'all would pick that up real quick. What you got for sleep?
Shakab, to lie down.
Maybe this will help you out, man. Let's go over here to Matthew 27, man. Give me verse 36. Why you laid out on the floor, cuz? You tired? Had a long day? What you do? So you had a long day of nothing. Because it rained today. So you was outside walking in the rain, and you saw her holding hands, and you were never the same. Go ahead.
And sitting down, they watched him there and set up over his head his accusation written, "This is Yahushua." Likewise, also the chief priest mocking what the scribes and elders said, "He saved others, himself he cannot save. If he be the king of Yasharah, let him now come down from the stake, and we will believe him.
Come on.
He trusted in Alahym, let him deliver him now. If he will have him, for he said, I am the son of Alahym. The thieves also which were crucified with him cast the same in his teeth. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, that is to say, my Alahym, why have you forsaken me?
Come on.
Some of them that stood there, when they heard, said, this man called for Elijah. And straightway one of them ran and took a sponge and filled with vinegar and put it on a reed and gave him to drink. The rest said, let be, let us see whether Elijah will come save him. Yahushua, when he cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ruach, and behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom. The earth did quake, and the rocks rent. And the graves were opened, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose, and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the Kadash city, and appeared unto many. Now when the centurion and they that were with him,
he got tired, he went to sleep, correct? Now come back over here in verse 12, and let's see where we go. This is Genesis 28 and 12.
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth.
Tell him what the ladder is, man. Y'all done heard of Jacob's ladder before. We ain't talked about it in a long time.
That's salam, a ladder or staircase.
Staircase to heaven. Ain't they got a song called that? Some of y'all look like y'all used to listen to that song, A Highway to Hell. You know what I'm talking about? That's a real song, by the way. I think so. Didn't them white boys from Jacksonville write Stairway to Heaven? Yeah, I know white boys. No, Leonard Skinner wrote Stairway to Heaven. You know, they from Jacksonville. I can't remember who wrote Highway to Hell.
I'm thinking about old school song. I don't know Leonard Skinner.
Leonard Skinner from Jacksonville. Rock band. Very, very well known and famous rock band.
No,
I think all the original members are dead. But they wrote the song Stairway to Heaven. I can't remember who wrote it. I can hear the song in my head right now because white boys love to play it. They definitely played it in the gym a lot. Ain't that something that you write a song talking about, I'm on the highway to hell? No, I'm going to get off on the exit. Oh, AC/DC wrote that song. Y'all niggas be walking around with AC/DC shirts. You don't even know them people on. That was a literal rock group that was called Black Sabbath. If you don't know about the Black Sabbath, that's the Witches Sabbath.
Oh, the old days. That's what I was thinking about.
I don't know. We can find out. It's just like
Stairway to Heaven.
I think other people make that
I don't listen to that genre. I was referring to the old days.
I'm fine. I can tell you right now what it means. Well, they from Australia. They don't really. I'm not gonna go on no doggone. They said symbol for AC/DC on the AC adapter of our sewing machines. It's an abbreviation of an alternating current and a direct current of electricity. That's what they tell me. Now, what it really is, that's a whole nother conversation. It said biker song, yeah, just heavy metal. That's what it is. Highway to Hell, a heavy metal song. I wager bikers do probably listen to it because a lot of bikers look like that's the type of music they like to listen to. Stereotypically, anyway. Say it's on an Adam Sandler movie called Little Nicky.
What's the one the car?
Yeah, no, it's a real song, Highway to Hell. Real record. I'm telling you, they play that junk in Bailey's all the time, depending on what Bailey's you go to. The song old, the song from the 70s. I mean, both of the songs I'm talking about old. The songs from the 70s.
I ain't never heard of Stairway to Heaven. Definitely Highway to Hell a lot.
They playing it out every chance they get. They playing that one.
Genesis 28:12.
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up upon the earth, and the top of it reached up to Shamahim.
And behold,
the Malachim of Alahym ascended and descending on it.
Pause, John 1:45. Yeah, that song came out. Look at the opening lyrics say, living easy, loving free. Season ticket on a one-way ride. Asking nothing. Leave me be, taking everything in stride. I don't need reason, don't need rhyme. Ain't nothing that I'd rather do going down party time. My friends gonna be there too. I'm on the highway to hell. On the highway to hell. Highway to hell, I'm on the highway to hell. No stop signs. Speed limit, nobody's gonna slow me down. Like a wheel gonna spin it. Nobody's gonna mess me around. Hey Satan, paying my dues. You know what I'm saying? Playing in a rock band. He said, I'm on my way to the promised land.
It is.
Woo! Woo, Lord, that's tough. That's tough. Just I'm talking about, but how he wrote this song, he's proud of this. Like this is like what you that man say, all my friends gonna be there. God almighty, no. That's tough. I'm trying to see what year this record came out. It don't say. I was hoping this song came out in 1979. Yeah, 1979. Let me see about Stairway to Heaven. That's a Led Zeppelin. That song came out in 1971. Come on, John 1:45.
Philip find Nathanael and said unto him, we have found him of whom Moses and the law and the prophets did write, Yahushua of Nazareth, the son of Joseph. Nathanael said unto him, can there any good thing come out of Nazareth? Philip said unto him, come and see. Yahushua saw Nathanael coming to him and said of him, behold, an Israelite indeed, in whom is no guile. Nathanael said unto him, whence know you me? Yahushua answered and said unto him, before that Philip called you when you was under the fig tree, I saw you.
I seen you.
Nathanael answered and said unto him, Rabbi, you are the son of Alahym, you are the king of Yasharal.
He said, that's all you needed?
Yahushua answered and said unto him, because I said unto you, I saw you under the fig tree, believe you, you shall see greater things than these. And he said unto him, truly, truly, I say unto you, hereafter you shall see Shamahim open and the Malachims of Alahym ascending and descending upon the Son of Man.
He said you're going to see the heavens open and see what Jacob saw. So, of course, he's letting you know what's going on with Jacob pertains to him. Come on back to Genesis 28:12.
And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to Shamahim, and behold, the Malachim of Alahym ascending and descending on it. And behold, Yahuwah stood above it and said, I, Yahuwah, Alahym of Abraham, your father.
Who stood above it?
Yahuwah.
Go ahead.
And the Alahym of Isaac, the land whereon you lie, to you will I give it, and to your seed. And your seed shall be as the dust of the earth. You shall spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in you and in your seed shall all the families of the earth be bereaved.
Pause. So what you see this here, man, when you see the Lord saying you're going to see the same thing, this is acknowledging that the covenant of Alahym going to be sealed with him. Because this is what he's telling Jacob. He said, you'll see these Malachim ascending and descending. And he said, Yahuwah stood above at the top of this ladder. And at the top of this ladder, he confirms the covenant with Jacob. How many times did Yahuwah confirm the covenant with Jacob? He confirmed it with him twice. Because he did it in Genesis 35 also. You know what I'm talking about? Now, of course, this is before he changed his name now. Continue.
And behold, I am with you and will keep you in all places where you go and will bring you again into this land. For I will not leave you until I have done which I have spoken to you of.
And Jacob awaked out of his what?
Out of his sleep.
Surely.
Yahuwah was in this place and I knew not.
Now, see, here's the difference, right? He was asleep when he had this here. Don't you realize when Mashiach was asleep? And of course, if he preaching to the spirits in prison, he let them know the same thing. But he already knew Alahym was in this place. It said Jacob didn't know. So we're going to see what Jacob did when he woke up out of his sleep after the fact. Continue.
And he was afraid and said, how dreadful this place. This is none other but the house of Alahym, and this the gate of Shamahim.
Go ahead and tell him what dreadful means, man. We're going to find your mama.
That's Yahweh. To fear, to revere, to be afraid.
It's a wonderful place. Tell him what the gates of heaven is.
Gate is Sha'ar. That's the gate for entrance. And then
This is the entrance into heaven.
And then have Shamayim.
Listen, what you think this means when he say this is the house of God in the entrance into eternity? Come on, get me John 14:4, man, on the house. After that, John 6:43 on the house.
And where I go, you know, and the way you know. Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not where you go, and how can we know the way? Yahushua said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man come unto the Abba but by me.
Nobody can do what?
Come to the Abba but by me.
Go ahead.
If you had known me, you should know my Abba also. And from henceforth you know him and have seen him.
That's good, man. John 6:43.
Yahushua therefore answered and said unto him, murmur not among yourselves. No man can come to me except the Abba which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. It is written in the prophets, and they shall all be taught of Alahym. Every man therefore that have heard and have learned of the Abba come unto me.
Oh, Isaiah 22:20. Make it 17. Isaiah 22:17. Shoot, make it 16.
What have you heard?
Isaiah 22:16.
What have you heard, and whom have you heard? That you have hewed you out of the sepulchre here, as he have hewed him out the sepulchre on high.
Read it again.
What have you heard, and whom have you heard? That you have hewed you out of sepulchre here, and has he hewed him out a sepulchre on high.
Pause. Listen to what he said now. Just consider. Just wait and consider for a moment. Let that seep in your brain. Listen to what this man just said. Where have you heard? Whom have you heard? That hewed out of a grave. That hewed out a grave on high. A grave and a habitation for himself in a rock. Get John 10:16. Shalom, Sister Gwen. Joanne, hush your mouth. Be quiet. John 10:16. Make it 14.
I am the good shepherd and know mine, and I am known of mine. As the Abba know me, even so I know of the Abba, and I lay down my life for the sheep.
You do what for the sheep?
Lay down my life for the sheep.
You do what for the sheep?
Lay down my life. And other sheep I have, which are also not of this fold.
What's going to happen?
Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice. There shall be one fold and one shepherd.
One fold and one shepherd. Come on.
Therefore do my Abba love me, because I lay down my life, that I might take it again. Lay down my life.
You do what with it?
Lay down my life.
What else happened?
That I might take it again.
Come on.
No man take it from me, but I lay it down on myself. I have power to lay it down and have power to take it again.
You have power to do what with it?
To lay it down.
You got power to do what with it?
Lay it down.
And do what with it again?
Take it again.
Okay.
This commandment I have received of my Abba.
Pause for a second, man. Go to Matthew 27, man. Give me about verse 54. Hey, I'm going to embarrass you here. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Go ahead.
Now when the centurion and they that were with him watching Yahushua saw the earthquake and those things that were done, they feared greatly, saying, truly.
Down to 59. I don't want it.
And when Joseph had taken the body, he wrapped it in a clean linen cloth, and laid it in his own new tomb, which he had hewn out in the rock. And he rolled a great stone to the door of the sepulchre and departed. And there was Mary Magdalene and the other Mary sitting over against the sepulchre. And the next day that followed, the day after the preparation, the chief priests and Pharisees came together on the Pilate.
Listen,
saying,
pause. Now, when you see this here, he say, what have we here and whom have we here? That you've hewed a sepulchre here, as he that hewed him out of sepulchre on high. That's why we read to John. That sepulchre was hewed out from him from on high. This was already ordained and set to happen. The lamb was slain from where, sir? So this was already set and primed to happen. Then he say, and grave a habitation for himself in a rock. Pause. Now you see how now you got something else. Now you got somewhere to dwell in a rock. See, the aspect of paying attention to him dwelling in the rock is for you to dwell where? In the rock. See, he dwelt in his father in the grave, that you might dwell in Mashiach in the grave. And now you see how the dead in Mashiach rise first, and therefore you receive an inheritance in heaven. Because remember what we read in Revelation 21:7. What does Revelation 21:7 say? For anybody right now, what does Revelation 21:7 say?
Well, come on, hear it all.
Yeah, that ain't the main part.
You be a son.
You be my son. Remember, we dealing with, shalom, Brother Robert, man. We dealing with what my homeboy asked me, man. He said, what is the spiritual connotation of the 12 tribes? Now, I told him, the 12 tribes are still going to be there. But I'm going to tell you something. We ain't got to it yet. But they won't be called that. Now, you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't they be called that? Well, it's in your law why they wouldn't be called that. But it's not going to say plainly why they wouldn't be called that. You got to put 2 + 2 and 10 on 10, and then you get, you know what I'm saying, all your money lined up in a row. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have Johnny got 5 apples and he gave away 3 apples and ate 1 apple. How many apples does he have? Ain't that funny? Them white folks used to ask me questions like that. Why won't you just say, man, 5 + 2 - 4, and let's just get to it? I don't want to read all that crap.
It definitely makes you believe.
Because ain't nobody in life ever finna talk to you like this.
Make sure your comprehension is on point.
But that ain't proper comprehension. You know how we know this here? Because they give you a plethora of other things where your man, you realize they say, man, the comprehension level for the majority of Americans is on the 6th grade level. They don't give a damn about your comprehension. Don't fall for that trick. They don't give a damn about your comprehension. They want to make you think they do. Whole time you stupid. But you don't realize you stupid because everybody around you stupid too. You know what I'm saying? So when you feel like you are not above stupid, you thinking you really above everybody, but you don't really realize all of us don't. And I ain't saying that disrespectfully. I'm saying that they played a mean game. For niggas to walk around here and think they're intelligent, I'm talking about in America. But everybody is really not that far above everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And you know how you know this here? Because these people will see outright bold-faced lies and certain things right in their face and mock you and say you're a conspiracy, this, that, that, and the third. These niggas believe anything anybody tell them. These damn fools was riding around with masks on in a car with nobody in it. If that don't show you we ain't too bright, ain't nothing gonna show you. Niggas was scared to go outside because somebody told you the flu was out there. This nigga walk around with jars of watermelon. That nigga living different. That nigga say, and headphones too. Man, I remember the first time I was riding in the car, boy, and I looked and seen the nigga in the car with all the windows up, dolo with a mask on. I said, boy, we live in a different world, boy. And this ain't doggone Cree Summers then. This ain't Kadeem Hardison and Jasmine Guy. This is a different world, boy, because I'd be damned if I ride around it. Who breathing in there? Imagine if that nigga breath was stinking, he ride around with your breath doing more damage than the virus. I think that's why so many people were mad during the pandemic. They realized their breath was stinking. You know what I'm saying? They had to take it in every day. Real, nigga. That ain't even shit. That's dead serious, boy. That was an ugly way of living. I don't know why y'all moving around on the floor. This ain't dance time at the Copacabana. You're going to find out what it is in a minute. Isaiah 22:16. Because here go Cope and here go Banner, man. Oh, that nigga walked off, man. I see your man's having a concert, man. Holy Gabon. Down there on the beach, boy. They doing good old Christian activities.
Yeah, I pop up, y'all. Right there.
I bet you are. Ain't that where they having a concert at? Yeah, I ain't gonna see it. I got a new program to start. Yeah, 22:16, man.
What have you here, and whom have you here, that you have hewed you out of sepulchre here, as he have hewed him out of sepulchre on high, and a grave habitation for himself in a rock? Behold, Yahuwah will carry you away with a mighty captivity.
And he will what?
Surely cover
Tell him
you.
what a mighty captivity is.
Mighty is Gabur.
Strong man. Strong man. But strong in this instance.
Captivity is taught a lot. That's a hurling of captivity, an overthrow, a rejection.
A rejection. I'm going to take you out with a strong rejection, a strong overthrow. What did we just read in Matthew 27:50? Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, my Alahym, why have you forsaken me? Is that not a strong rejection? He said, but surely he'll cover you. Tell him what cover you is, man.
That's a taught to cover, to wrap oneself, to envelop oneself.
How did he cover? We're going to see. 26, 22, and 18. Isaiah.
He will surely violently turn and toss you like a ball into a large country.
And there you're what?
You shall die.
And the chariots of your esteem.
The shame of your Lord's house.
Didn't he say he cast him out as a reproach? So go outside and suffer the reproach outside the gate. Continue.
And I will drive you from your station, and from your state shall he put you down.
Tell him what station it is.
That's Masab, a
Your
station.
place, your office, your station. Tell him go ahead what your state is.
My Ahmad, attendance, office, function, your service.
Pause. Listen what he said, right? I will drive you from your position and your office. 2 Corinthians 8:9 on general principle. This is what you see happening to Adam. Did he not drive him from his position? Did he not drive him from his state? Though he was the son of God, he lost the opportunity to inherit all things. And you know why? Because he didn't overcome. But he wasn't supposed to overcome. But nevertheless.
For you know the mercy of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that you through his poverty might be rich.
Don't you see it? If he goes from his poverty, is that not him leaving his position and state? Did he not tell you that a man leave his father and mother's house and cleave to his wife, and they become one ruach? That's why he said, you think you're going to be out here fornicating and be joined to the ruach of the Lord? Is now Mashiach a harlot? God forbid. Let's come back to Isaiah 22:20.
And it shall come to pass in that day that I will call my servant Eliakim, the son of Hilkiah.
And he'll do what with him?
Clothe him with your robe and strengthen him with your girdle. I will commit your government into his hand.
He shall be
a father to the inhabitants of Jerusalem,
into the house
of Yehuda,
and the key
of the house of David
will I lay
upon his shoulder.
And he shall
open,
and none
shall shut,
and he shall
shut,
and none
shall open.
Notice he say he gonna give him that key, right? Now, of course, there's no key to the gates per se. It's to show forth that this man has the ability to open the gates of heaven and close them. So when you see Jacob waking up out of his sleep, he said, this is the gate of heaven to allow you to enter into the house of God, because the tabernacle of Alahym is not on earth with men. but that he will bring it on earth with men so that men can dwell with them. Now, again, will there be the 12 tribes of Yasharal named there? Yes. Will they be acknowledged as the 12 tribes? No. And you know why they won't be acknowledged as the 12 tribes? You should already know this. Because they will be the sons of God at this point. And you won't be called by the name of Yasharal. Can you tell me why is that the case? Don't worry about it. Think about it. We gonna roll right. If you got something, go ahead. If not, we gonna roll on that. We gonna get there. 22 and 23. Listen to it.
And I will fasten him a nail in a sure place.
He shall be
for an esteemed throne to his father's house.
And they shall hang upon him
all the esteem of his father's house,
the offspring,
and the issue,
the vessels,
a small quantity,
the vessels
of cups,
even to the vessels
of flagons.
Now back this up, right? Notice he said he'll lay the key on his where?
Shoulder.
Say the key of the house on his shoulder. Why you think he was carrying that stake, man? It's showing you that he had the key to open up the gates of heaven by offering himself. That's how he opened it. So you want to look for a key. He carried the key. It was that tree on his shoulder. Continue, man. Isaiah 22 and 25.
In that day, saith Yahuwah of hosts, shall the nail that is fastened in the short place be removed
and cut down
and fall,
and the burden
upon it shall be cut off, for Yahuwah hath spoken.
So notice, right, when they removed him off that stake, that burden was removed, that burden being death. Come on back to Genesis 28, man. Hey, cut it out. Genesis 28. Read me verse 17 again.
And he was afraid and said, how dreadful this place, this none other but the house of Alahym, this the gate of Shamahim. And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for pillows
and set it up,
a pillar,
and did what?
Poured oil upon the top of it.
And he called the name of that place
Bethel.
But the name of that city?
It's called Luz at the first.
And Jacob vowed a vow, saying,
if Alahym will be with me and will keep me in this way that I go,
and will give me
bread to eat
and raiment to put on,
so that I come again to my father's house in Shalom,
then shall Yahuwah
be my Alahym,
and this stone
which I have set a pillar
shall be Alahym's
house,
and of that
you shall give me, I will surely give the 10th unto you.
Notice that stone. That same place where you look at that sepulchre, it's not that the grave is the house, but Yahusha is the stone, and therefore he is the house of God. And the house of God is going to come down to men. You understand? Now here's the question. You're looking in Genesis 28, and is his name Israel yet? No. So now when you come over here to Genesis 32, right? And we're not going to read too much of nothing. I just want you to come over here and look at it. When you come over here to Genesis 32 and you start looking at verse 24 all the way to verse 32, what occurred in verse 24 to 32? What's going on here? What's causing all this? Hey, Joe. Shayla, you might have to get it. She might fight her.
You got him.
What happened from Genesis 32 verses 24 to 32? This is when he wrestled with the Malachim. When he wrestled with the Malachim, what occurred? His name was changed. His name was no longer Japheth. His name was what? Yasharal. He that prevailed. He said, for your name shall no more be called Jacob, but Yasharal, for as a prince or a ruler, you have power with Alahym and went with men and have prevailed. So we know that when Yahusha went in the grave as the son of Adam, but came out the son of God, he came out as a prince who had power with God and man because he prevailed. You understand? He overcame. Now, here's the kicker. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 19. Come on with it.
Nevertheless, the foundation of Alahym stands sure, having this seal. The Lord know them that are his, and let everyone that name the name of Mashiach depart from iniquity. But
that all those that name the name of who?
Mashiach
do what?
Depart from iniquity.
Ephesians 3 and 14.
For this cause I bow my knees unto the Abba of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, of whom the whole family in Shamahim and earth is named, that he would grant you
a whole family named after who?
Mashiach.
Now, I want you to come over here I want you to come to look at Revelation 2 and 17. And then after Revelation 2 and 17, we'll read Revelation 3 and 7. On down. But Revelation 2 and 17.
He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the assemblies.
To him
that overcome
will I give
to eat of the hidden manna,
when I give him
a white stone,
and in a stone,
a new name written,
which no man knows,
save he that received.
How's that pertinent to your law? How is that pertinent to your law? Remember, he gave, now it's different. Didn't he give Peter another name? Now, men knew that name, obviously. The Cephas. His name was Simon, and then it was changed to Cephas, or the Rock. Hey. You can't be over here with that. Go over there with your mama with that. But you can't sit over here with that. How does Revelation 2 and 17 jost with your law? Now read Revelation 2 and 17 again.
He that have an ear, let him hear what the Ruach say unto the assemblies. To him that overcome will I give to eat of the hidden manna, and will give him a white stone, and in the stone a new name written, which no man knows, saving he that received.
Y'all don't know how they line up with your law? Y'all probably focusing on the stones, and you focusing on the wrong thing. Come over here to Genesis chapter 2, verse 17. Remember, Genesis 5 and 1 tell you all the families in earth is named after Adam. Everybody named after Adam. Once you get called man, woman, you can say whatever you want. You named after Adam. As a forerunner to be named after Mashiach. You don't read it. That was a pistol. 2 Timothy 2 and 19. Come on with it.
Say, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat of it. For on the day that you eat thereof, you shall surely die. Yahuwah Alahym said, not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helpmeet for him.
Go ahead.
And out of the ground, Yahuwah Alahym formed every beast of the field, every fowl of the air, and brought unto Adam to see what he would call them.
Brought him under who?
Unto Adam.
To see what he would what?
Call them.
Did not this man name every living creature? Did he not name Eve? It's just showing you that if you're going back to the kingdom, going to be as the Garden of Eden, the second Adam got authority to name everything just like the first one did. So it don't matter what your mama them named you. Don't matter what your daddy them named you. This man going to give you another name. You know what I'm talking about? Now, we already see that because he gave Jacob another name, did he not? That name was facilitated based off of an action of prevailing and overcoming over Amalekite. Now, of course, we know Mashiach overcame death, overcame Satan himself. Now, with that being said, come on back over here to Revelation 3 and 7. Amen. Listen to it.
And to the Malachim of the assembly in Philadelphia, write, these things said he that is Kadash, he that is true, he that hath the key of David, he that opened and no man shut, and shut and no man opened.
Go ahead.
I know your works. Behold, I have set before you an open door. No man can shut it, for you have a little strength, and have kept my word, and have not denied my name. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Hashatan, which say they are Yahudim and are not.
But what?
But do lie.
But do what?
But do lie.
Go ahead.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before your feet, to know that I have loved you.
We're not going to go read it, but you can see that in Isaiah 65. If you keep letting these niggas tell you that's some white folks over there in the land, you stupid. Why would this man be writing a passage to a synagogue of Yahudim in Philadelphia who was all living upright to tell them about some stank dog people 2,000 some odd years later? He was talking about them wicked niggas who was sitting there right then talking about they was Yahudim and live. Go read Isaiah 65 where he say this man to make these people come worship at your feet. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and read that. Just hold on. You stay where you at. Let me read that for niggas who think, because I know it's a nigga going to come on here and say, nah, they don't say that. That is for them Jewish people. That's how you know they're not the people. So, go on in the bathroom. You know what to do. Don't touch yourself like you usually do. Just go ahead and look in that mirror. Get you some baby powder. Put it on both hands. Spend time slapping yourself over and over and over again. Isaiah 65. and 9. Isaiah 65 and 9. And I will bring forth a seed out of Jacob and out of Yehuda, an inheritor of my mountains. My elect shall inherit it, and my servant shall dwell there. See, Paul, listen to what he said. He said he's bringing forth a seed out of who? Out of Jacob, correct? Not seeds of many, but seeds of one. That seed being the Mashiach. That seed being the word of Alahym. He that is born of God do not commit sin. He cannot sin because his seed remain in him. And he said, an inheritor of my mountains. So the man who's going to inherit my government, what you just heard in Isaiah 22. Then he turned around and said, my elect or my chosen shall inherit it. And my servants should dwell there. Get him Malachi chapter 3, verse 16, and let it run from there. Oh, yeah, that ain't your fault, because that's what everybody teaches. That ain't your fault, Mika. Come on with it.
Then they that feared Yahuwah spake often one to another, and Yahuwah hearkened and heard.
He hearkened and what?
And heard.
And what he did.
And a book of remembrance was written before him.
If there's a book of remembrance, that book is the book of life, and that book is a book of what? Genealogy. It's the records of the sons of God that's contained in that book. He finna tell you that himself. Listen to him.
Was written before him for them that feared Yahuwah and that thought upon his name. They shall be mine, saith Yahuwah.
They shall be what?
They shall be mine.
Go ahead.
Saith Yahuwah of hosts in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spares his own son that served him.
He gonna do what?
Spare him as a man spares his own son that served him.
Didn't he just say, my servant shall inherit that? They shall dwell there? The only people dwelling in the kingdom of heaven are the sons and daughters of God. Is that not what we talked about before we slid out of here last night, man? And that's 2 Corinthians 6. In Ezekiel 37, in Leviticus 26, who else gonna be in the temple of God? If the tabernacle of God is with men, who else gonna be there but the servants of God? That's it. And if you in the tabernacle of God, that means you a son of God. Them the only people fit to dwell in that location. Isaiah 65 and 10. Joanne, don't you take your square head behind it now. And Sharon shall be a fold of flocks in the valley of Achor, a place for the herds to lie down in, for my people that have sought me. But you, they that forsake Yahuwah, that forgot my Kadash mountain, and prepare a table for that troop, and furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore I will number you to the sword, and you shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, you did not answer. And when I spake, you did not hear, but did evil before my eyes, and did choose wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, behold, my servant shall eat, but you shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but you shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but you shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but you shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of ruach. And you shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for Yahuwah Alahym shall slay you and call his servants by another name. Hold on, it's another one too. Oh no, that ain't it. That ain't it. No, it's another one, but it ain't Isaiah 60 and 19. We just read that the other day. Yeah, we just read that the other day. That's something else. Because see, that's dealing with the nations on top of that. You know what I'm talking about? That can be both. But it's another one. It's escaping my brain. I might have already read it and just looked over it. I know I wanted what we just read, though. I wasn't looking for the bow down part. Oh, there it is. 66 and 5. I got it. That's what I wanted specifically. He say, hear the word of Yahuwah, you that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahuwah be esteemed, but he shall appear for your joy, and they shall be ashamed. You know what I'm talking about? Notice what he said, your brethren that what? Hated you. Now come back and read that Revelation 3 and 9 one more time. You can read Isaiah 60 and 14 that he mentioned, though. Go ahead and run that real quick. Like.
The sons also of them that afflicted you shall come bending unto you, and all that despise you shall bow themselves down at the soles of your feet. They shall call you the city of Yahuwah, the Zion of the Kadash one of Yasharal.
Read Revelation 3 and 9. Hey, I don't know what y'all got going on, but this ain't patty cake time in here.
Behold, I'll make them of the synagogue of Hashatan, which said
Pause. He said
they're
he'll make them of the house of who?
of Satan.
What did this man say in John chapter 8 and verse 44? Who was he talking to when he said that? He was talking to Jews. But they said they were whose seed?
Abraham.
That's what they said, though. See, this ain't talking about no white folks nowhere, man. They're talking about people who profess. What is a Yahudim? Don't your law tell you to be circumcised in the heart? Didn't Jeremiah tell you to be circumcised in the heart? These are people who thinking they're doing Alahym service, but persecuting the righteous. That's who these is. You know where they going? The hell. I wanted you to remember what we read in Isaiah 65. He said he gonna get rid of you and call his servants by what? What you just seen in Revelation, he said he gonna call his servants by what? Because he said he that overcome. If you overcome, that means you are what? So he calling you by another name. Also, that lets you know he not gonna call you by the name of Yasharal anymore either. And you know why? Because Yahushua won't be called Yahushua no more. He will no longer be Yasharal because he has performed another definitive action. Shalom, Brother Shaul. You ain't gonna remember none of the former things. Those things have passed away. Continue. Revelation 3 and 9, one more time on the house.
Behold, I'll make them of the synagogue of Hashatan, which say they're Yahudim and are not, but do lie. Behold, I'll make them to come and worship before your feet and to know that I have loved you.
Ain't that what you heard in Isaiah 65? Ain't that what you heard in Isaiah 66? You thinking this dealing with some white folk, it's dealing with your brethren that hated you and cast you out for this man's name's sake. Come on with it, man.
Because you have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly, and hold fast which you have, that no man take your crown.
Him that overcome.
Will I make a pillar in the temple of my Alahym, he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my Alahym.
Pause. He write upon the name of his who?
Of his Alahym.
You don't know the name of his Alahym. You don't know the name of his Alahym. Never heard it, never known it. You don't know it. Continue.
And the name of the city of my Alahym, New Jerusalem, which come down out of Shamahim from my Alahym, and upon him my new name.
His new what?
New name.
And this is why. Yes, it'll be called that there's gates for the 12 tribes, but ain't no spiritual Israel in the kingdom of heaven. It's all the sons of God. That doesn't exist because the name of Israel is no more. Why would he need to be called the prince that has prevailed and has power to rule with Alahym and man, and he's delivered up all power and rule back to his father? He has no need to be called Yasharal no more at this point. He has no need to be called that anymore. The gates remain up because of the promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but he has no need to be called that anymore. Everyone there are sons and daughters.
Can we look at him being called by the name of his album?
Yeah, you know, he got the name of Yahuwah. Yahushua, we know that name.
Right.
But he told you, I'm going to give you my new name. You think he writing the name of Yahuwah on you? You out of your mind. You already know that name. But that's for those, because, you know, a lot of people don't want to believe that Yahushua is Yahuwah. It's very difficult for some people to believe. It's very difficult for some people to believe that you've never dealt with his father. I don't know why it's difficult for to believe that. I know people be on their oneness kick and unit. Man, this ain't got nothing to do with that other than simply, I don't think you understand how Kadash, upright, and just the Father is. I don't think you understand how much of a consuming fire that he is. And how that man could not dare ever stand in his presence in the current state that you in. You have to be a son of God to stand in his presence, or you will be devoured. You don't understand that Yahuwah/Yahushua was your go-between to get you to this man. That's why you don't get to the Father until the kingdom of heaven, and it's actually on the earth, because now he's made a new heaven and a new earth where righteousness dwell, because his eyes are too pure to look upon evil. And now you can actually, Revelation 22:1, man. Now you can actually be with him. That's why he said those that overcome will inherit, and they will be his son. Hey, y'all doing too much talking. Too much. That was Adar talking about right now. Jesus created all things. Hey, be quiet. You too. Because y'all making noise just for the sake of making noise. Be quiet. Revelation 22:1.
And he showed me a pure river of water of life,
Sit up.
clear as crystals, proceeding out of the throne of Alahym and of the Lamb. In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river, the tree of life, bare 12 fruits, and yielded her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree for the healing of the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of
There'll
Alahym.
be no more what?
No more curse.
You think that curse is dealing with what? You think that's dealing with the law of Moses? You stupid. If it ain't no more curse, guess what it means? It ain't no more of. No more death. Because before there was a law of Moses curse, there was Genesis 3:14. You had that curse. Ain't no more death. That's what Revelation 21:4 told you, didn't it? Come on with it, man.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Alahym and of the Lamb shall be in it.
The throne of what?
Of Alahym and of the Lamb shall be in it.
Come on with it.
And the servants shall serve him.
His servants are what?
Shall serve
And
him.
that's what you heard in Isaiah 65. Now come on with it now.
They shall see his face and his name and
They
his
shall
forehead.
do what?
See his face.
Didn't the law tell you couldn't see this man's face and live? Now you already seen the face of God in the personage of Yahushua HaMashiach. He said, but now what did this man tell you? No man can come to the Father except by who? The Son. You know what I'm talking about? Now the text tell you they sat down with the Alahym of Yasharal and ate and drank, did it not? You thought they was sitting up there with the Father eating and drinking, man. You wild for that. How would that be possible? How could flesh and blood come before the incorruptible Alahym in an unclean state and eat with him? No, that's not gonna happen. Don't you know if they ate and drank when they would have had to look at it? That's another conversation for another day. Come on with it.
And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun, for Yahuwah Alahym give them light. They shall reign forever and ever. And he said unto me, these sayings, faithful and true. And the Lord Alahym of the Kadash prophet sent this Malachim to show unto his servants the things which must shortly be done.
That's good. That's good. Where we was at? Come on back to what was that before Genesis 28? You're talking low, man. Don't talk to me like you talk to Michael on the phone when you're on the highway. That's right. He don't drive trucks no more. He don't talk like that. Listen. So we went through all that there, man, for the aspect of his opening question. And that thing is what we concluded with last night was talking about gifts. So I want to go back to Psalm 68 and 18. Hey. No, sir. No, sir. I know why I just can't see it.
So you have ascended on high, you have led captivity captive, you have received gifts for men.
Received what for men?
Received gifts for men, yea, the rebellious also, that Yahuwah Alahym might dwell.
Now listen. He said that Yahuwah Alahym might what?
Might dwell.
He might what?
Might dwell.
Now remember, we talked about Abraham giving gifts to his sons, right? But he gave everything he had to who? See, getting a gift and giving an inheritance is two different things. Getting a gift and getting an inheritance is two different things. And remember, what was the definition? One of the definitions for gift that we kept referencing several times last night. A sacrificial offering. See, the Ruach HaKodesh, come over here to John 14 and 15. The Ruach HaKodesh is a sacrificial offering. See, we're going to read the John 14 and 15 to set it up, and then we're going to swing to John 16 and 1 to finish it off. Paul. You know what I'm talking about?
If you love me, keep my commandments. And I'll pray the Abba, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
Paul, he said, if you love me, you should do what?
Keep my commandments.
What is his commandment? What did he tell you his commandment was? To believe on him whom he hath sent. That's what his commandment is. John 6 and 27 for those who don't know.
Labor not for the meat which perish, but for the meat which endure unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him have Alahym the Abba sealed. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of Alahym? Yahushua answered and said unto them, this is the work of Alahym.
That you do what?
Believe on him whom he hath sent.
Believe on him whom he hath sent. That's all you got to do. Once you do that, see, some people will be like this here. Some people will be like this here. See, that's telling people they ain't got to keep the commandment when you hear that. No, that's what you heard because that's how you want to live. Remember what we read last night? They wanted to be a debt. They want to be able to say, I owe you. That's what we read in Job, didn't it? They want that man to, they want to be able to say they got something over Alahym's head. He owe me something. He got to give me this. That man ain't got to give you nothing but a swift kick in your black behind. That's all they got to give you. Come on back, man. Where was that? John 14 and 15. Man, who making all that noise? Ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. Yeah, you know I know ain't nothing wrong with you. Listen to that fake wail. That boy fine. That's how you know it's fake. Ain't no emotion behind that. Ain't no tears in that cry. That's not a real cry. John 14 and 15.
If you love me, keep my commandments, and I'll pray the Abba, and he shall give you another comforter, that he may abide with you forever.
He shall do what?
Abide with you forever.
If he giving you another comforter, what is he giving you? Nah, I'm talking about according to the text. Y'all should know we just talked about it. If he giving you another comforter, what he just gave you? What? No. 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 Genesis 5 and 20, man. Niggas slacking on their macking, man. They're laying on their pimping. Man, what's your problem, cuz? You ain't did nothing all day. You ain't did nothing but slob and fart. Genesis 5 and 20.
And all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. And Enoch lived 65 years and begat Methuselah. And Enoch walked with Alahym after he begat Methuselah 300 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Enoch 365 years. Enoch walked with Alahym, and he not, for Alahym took him. Methuselah lived 187 years.
Give me verse 27.
And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, called his name Noah.
And what that name means?
Saying, this shall comfort us concerning our work and toil of our hands.
The work and what?
Toil of our hands.
What else?
Because of the ground which Yahuwah have cursed.
Remember, he said there'd be no more curse there. You were supposed to remember Noah, and you forgot. He said, for your work and your toil. Did he not curse him that he would have to work by the sweat of his brow till he died? So this man say this man came to comfort you or to calm you for your work and your toil because of the ground which Yahuwah have cursed. So when you hear comforter, it's and what happened with Noah? What is Noah representative of? Salvation. And how is he representative of salvation? Because Noah was what in his generations? He was perfect in his generations. And what did Yahuwah have on Noah? Grace. There was no law involved why Yahuwah did that with Noah. It's because Yahuwah showed to have mercy on him. This is what we supposed to put together when you see that. When he say, I'm going to send you another comforter. See, when they come and try to tell you that's dealing with Muhammad, see, you supposed to sit back and look at him and laugh. See, I'm going to show you something. A goofy nigga said Isaiah 42 was talking about Muhammad. I want you to read it for me. And I'm going to take it step by step to every verse I heard him read. It was blasphemous. It was idolatrous. It was wickedness. And it was bottom line, pure and utter lies. Straight from the pits of hell. Ain't that right, Jeremiah James Bird? My man. Isaiah 42 and 1, listen to it.
Behold my servant whom I uphold.
Behold my who?
My servant.
Who I what?
Uphold.
Tell him what uphold means. You know what was funny last night we were talking, man? I'm going to ask y'all this question, see if y'all remember. Onan. Who know who Onan is? Who know who Onan is? Somebody tell me who Onan is.
See to his brothers.
No,
He didn't bring
That's Odin, man.
that's Odin.
We talking about the word.
I can see why you would make that mistake.
I know where you're going.
And why is Onan? Why is Onan important? I was talking to them last night, and that was like people sit there and say that Onan was killed for what? But that's not what he was killed for, now was it? He was not killed for pulling out and spilling no seed. He was killed because he knew he didn't want to raise a seed to his brother, and he had sex with that woman anyway. When what the law say for you to do? Just say no. But what can happen to you when you say no? They spit in your face and unloose your shoe and say, he that have his shoe loose. Now, see, we understand this here because if Judah had this, where did Judah get it from? He had to get it from Jacob. Well, where did Jacob get it from? He had to get it from Isaac. Where did Isaac get it from? He got it from Abraham. Who did Abraham get it from? He got it from Melchizedek. But how was this in the earth? Because it came from the sons of Adam. Because Adam had it. This is how we know that the law was the tree of knowledge of good and evil. They had this information. You understand how detailed that is to know to raise up a seed to your brother's wife? Why would Yahuwah kill him for that if he didn't know that that was wrong for him to do? That means he had that instruction. He knew what he was supposed to do. Now, you can say no. Now, what I was explaining to them last night is because we live differently. So a lot of our problems is a lot of the customs and the way that they live that you see in the text, you put your modern day mindset on it. I was telling us, when you look at what happened with Hagar and Sarah, that was common practice that if a woman couldn't have a baby, that she would give her handmaiden to her husband. And that handmaid knew that whatever baby she had did not belong to her. It belonged to Sarah. You know what I'm saying? See, like when people say Jacob had 4 wives, no, he only had 2. Them handmaidens ain't his wives. I know that say Abraham took her to wife, that mean he mashed her. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's how they considered it. If you put your wee-wee in a woman, you had to provide for her as a wife, but that was not his wife. She was a bond servant. She could never be his wife. Slaves cannot marry freeborn men. That's how they lived back then. You ain't got to like it. That's how they live. Nobody cares what you think about it. That's the society that they lived in. You know what I'm talking about? So these men knew, according to the law, if your brother died, listen now, this ain't your brother died and he had a child with this woman already. No, you don't get to lay with her. Your brother died childless. You lay with his wife. The first child y'all have belongs to him. How does it belong to him? Because they're usually going to name the child after the brother who died, so his name is not extinguished. You understand? This is the custom of how they operated. You got dudes in this day and time talking about you supposed to marry your brother's wife if he died. Now that they got children, his name is still in the earth if he got kids. That is unnecessary. But when you look at it in these days of time, this is not something that somebody would do. They would look at it as it is odd, but that's how they live. I told you when the chick was like, well, why did Jacob lay with Leah if he didn't love her and didn't want to be with her? Because you're looking at it through the eyes of somebody who want romantic love in 2024 and not how they lived back then. Regardless of if Laban tricked him or not, he made an agreement and he knew that that would have been dishonorable to say, I'm not going to take your older daughter, especially after I laid with her. That's a dishonorable thing to do. But you going to think with love and feelings and romance and all this type of stuff right there, showing you that honor is not important to you as then how you feel. Doesn't matter if you like it. That's the rules they live by and that dispensation of time. That's how they live. Remember I told you a long time ago, like if you lived in a society where people had several wives, that you wouldn't have no issue with it because that's just how you live. We don't live like that now. So when somebody brings that to you, you're going to have an issue with it because you don't come up in a society where that is customary. I don't know why men have a hard problem understanding that. That's common sense. You know what I'm talking about? But of course, we know that's a whole nother line because the sons of God didn't move that way, now did it? We don't see that in their line. Well, somebody, what about David then? And you well past it. Hey, they calling about this point. Good and calm. You know what I'm saying? When you go look at that Genesis 5 genealogy versus Cain, sons of God got one wife. Every single son. And matter of fact, for the most part, it ain't that many men after that genealogy that you see with more than one wife who wasn't a king. It's only one man I can think of off the top of my head that had more than one wife that wasn't a king. You know who that is? Gideon. That's the only man I can think of off the top of my head who was not a king, who had more than one wife. That's the only one I can think of. I don't see regular dudes in this text with 4, 5, 6, 7 wives. We don't see that nowhere. Matter of fact, you only really see that with David, Saul, and Solomon. They don't really mention everybody else. Dudes just get fixated on that, man. I don't understand why, man. I don't understand why dudes so pressed by that. Just find you some women who with it and shut your mouth, nigga. We don't want to hear about that junk every goddamn day. Get you
the one nigga, the first time you see niggas having multiple wives, you came to.
That's what I'm talking about. You see that with the daughters of men. You see Satan's seed doing that. You don't see the sons of God doing that.
That should be enough for you right there.
It should be. But the first thing you hear Bruce say is, but that's our culture. Culture of who? Culture of the devil. They ain't the culture of God. I'm trying to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Come on back where we was at.
Isaiah 42. That uphold is kamat. That's to grasp, to hold, to support.
He supported. Didn't he support her when he said, you know, I'm exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death, and he's son of Malachim to strengthen him? Didn't he support it? Okay. Isaiah 42:1, let it run.
Behold, my servant whom I uphold, my elect, my soul delight. I have put my ruach upon him.
He said, who my soul, who?
Delight.
You tell me that Yahuwah delight in Muhammad, and he put his ruach upon him. When we read the ruach of Yahuwah be on, it can't be the ruach of Allah. Because Allah and Yahuwah are not the same person. Lies you tell. Come on.
He shall bring forth judgment to the Gentiles.
He'll bring forth what?
Judgment to the Gentiles.
See, this is where he get the game twisted at. They'll say, see, he brought judgment to the Gentiles. See, that's what Muhammad did. Let me ask you a question. What nation Ishmael belonged to? He belonged to who? He belonged to Shem. Because he come from Abraham. So listen, who are the Gentiles? That's Japhet. Muhammad was preaching to Arabs. So that's Shem. So he ain't bring no light to the Gentiles. You can't say Arabs are Gentiles when they come from Shem. Because if they come from Ishmael, Ishmael come from Abraham, Abraham come from Shem. So we know that's not Muhammad. Game over. All you got to do is know your law well enough, and you ain't got to purchase none of this stuff. The Gentiles are the sons of Yefet. The records for Muhammad never have him going talking to the sons of Yefet. Period. He talking to Arabs. He talking to the sons of Shem. Uh-oh. Come on with it.
He shall not cry, nor lift up, nor cause his voice to be heard in the street. A bruised reed shall he not break, and the smoking flax shall he not quench. He shall bring forth judgment unto truth.
Bring what?
Judgment unto truth.
He gonna bring mishpat under Amah. He gonna show you right and wrong through faithfulness. Uh-oh. Come on.
He shall not fail nor be discouraged till he have set judgment in the earth. And the isles shall wait for his law.
Till he said what?
Judgment in the earth.
John 16:1. We'll come back. Look how the Lord works.
These things have I spoken unto you that you should not be offended.
Not be offended, baby.
They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time come that whosoever kill you will think he do Alahym's work.
That's
service.
right.
And these things will they do unto you
what
because
they gonna do to you, baby?
they have not known the Abba nor me. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, you may remember that I told you of them.
I told you.
And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you.
I was with you, baby.
But now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you will ask me where you go.
Where you going at?
But because I have said these things unto you, sorrow hath filled your heart.
That's right.
Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you.
I'm going to send it.
And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin.
He will do what?
Reprove the world of sin.
What else he going to do?
And of righteousness and of judgment.
Of what?
Of righteousness and of judgment.
Why?
Of sin, because they believe not on me.
Judgment.
Of righteousness, because I go to my Abba and you see me no more.
Listen.
And of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged.
The prince of this world is what?
Is judged.
Well, when Muhammad came brought forth something that the prince of this world would be judged. How he going to do that when the prince of this world was judged before he was born? Read that again in Isaiah 42, man. What verse you stopped at? I was telling them sisters last night, man, and y'all should already know this here, man. Especially on this app, y'all probably done figure this out. Most dudes, shalom, Brother Ernest, most dudes don't really know the word like that. Now, y'all know what I mean by that, right? Most men only know the word in the areas that they debate and argue with people on a regular basis. Most people do not know the ins and outs, the outs and ins, the minutia, the nuance. They don't know the word like that. You know what I'm talking about? And you know why they don't know the word like that? Because they study to cut up doctrines and they study to debate and to push things of men. But we were talking this morning, man, dude kept asking me about the flat earth, right? And I told him to come in this room right now. I say, boy, none of the members of the Assembly of the Firstborn give two flying London dams about the flat earth. He said, no, that's just what you saying. So y'all can hear. Tell him yourself, you care about the flat earth? If I came in here and said we finna talk about the flat earth, how would that make you feel?
I wouldn't even want to read.
That boy said he wouldn't even want to read. That's tough. What about you, Doris? You want to hear about the flat earth? I'm talking about exclusively. That's what we come in here to talk about. Biblical cosmology. Do you know what biblical cosmology is? That's dealing with creation. Biblical cosmology is a theological type discussion. But would you care to hear about the flat earth? What are your thoughts if we came in here and talked like that? He told me I was projecting on y'all and y'all in the chat. You can answer this as well. I'm telling this nigga, I know the people that I serve. If they wanted to hear about flat earth, then we would talk about flat earth. I say they don't care about that. I say, man, these people going through a whole week looking for a word, and you think they want to talk about firmaments and flat earths and sun? At the end of the day, once we get finished talking about the flat earth, what benefit to your soul would that have done for you? He told me it's about the truth. I say, yeah, that's what silly niggas say who like to argue. And he kept asking me about it. I say, bro, I've never invested time even investigating the flat earth. I say, man, do you understand that normal everyday people don't walk around think about, the earth probably is flat instead of them saying round. Nobody thinks about that. You know what I'm saying? I say the reason why y'all don't realize that is because you stay on the internet arguing with men all day. So you're not actually interacting with real people. Real people don't give a damn if it's flat or round. I just don't want to go to hell. I want to receive the Ruach HaKodesh. I would like to inherit all things. I'd like to see the Father face to face and live. I'm not concerned with that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to tell y'all something, right? He said, earth don't help us draw closer to the Father, so I don't care, to be honest. Hey, I feel you. I'm going to tell y'all something real, right? Well, this assembly is probably different from most, because most of you, I'm going to say, it's finna burn either way. That ain't no most. Pretty much all of us do not engage with other Hebrews in biblical debates, arguments, and discussions. You know what I'm saying? Most people don't consider that this whole congregation is really filled with regular people who do regular things, who care about the salvation of Yahuwah and the greatness and majesty of his word through the manifestation of his son under everlasting life. So that is a hard concept for a lot of brothers to understand. Like, y'all don't want to sit back and go back and forth with this person and that person? No. So y'all don't talk about this, that, that. Nigga, we're not going to be sitting here talking about how a 12 tribes chart is false. We don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what chart you look at, my nigga. That don't benefit me none. It's hard for a lot of people to realize that some people want an actual benefit from the word and not just information for the sake of conversation, though I'm walking down that road to the highway of what? Damnation. That nigga said he going to the promised land. That's what he said, didn't he? The sad part is Yahuwah didn't even promise you to go there. You taking yourself there. Ain't that sad? Yahuwah never promised nobody to go to hell. He never said that was his desire. But that dude was frustrated about that. He was like, you putting that on there? And I'm saying this for one reason. If you preaching the word, man, it's no different than coaching. You don't preach and teach the people what you want to preach and teach them. You preach and teach them what they need so they can be successful. If you the type of coach to be like, my system is a West Coast offense, but you got a power eye, type of personnel and you still trying to run your offense, you a horrible coach. You know why? Because you didn't tailor your offensive system to the strengths of their personnel. You were going to make them be what you wanted them to be, and then you're amazed at why they fail. You know what I'm talking about? You tailor your offense and your system based to your personnel. So if I know y'all care about 1, 2, and 3, I'm not going to give you 7, 8, and 9 because I want to give you 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 ain't what you need. So that's why we don't talk about it. Zoe say, man, not during trap hours. Now, see, now that's real now. Because that's what I told him. We can talk about it, but not during trap house. When the trap house open, I'm not selling that. That's whack, though. That's 7 in 1,000, man. That water whip.
Some people don't their own time.
Yeah. We ain't on trap house ain't open. We can talk about that if you want to, but I'm not finna serve that out. Man, we sell better quality dope in here. Better quality dope in here. Most definitely. Well, that boy hit the nail on the head. Not during trap house. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't want to let that be known because that just hit my mind. Cuz seemed like he was offended because I'm like, bro, my people don't care about that. He couldn't believe that none of y'all care about that enough to the point of, you know who used to always want to hear about that? Your man. He wanted to, I said, bro, I'm not teaching on that, bro. Nobody in here don't give a damn about that. He always try to swing it in there, too. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. Come on over here with me then. Come on. Yeah. That's how I know y'all be faking. Faking Jamaican. That boy said, oh, that's stepmom. Come on, man. Isaiah 42, where you stop that, bro?
Verse 3.
Verse who?
No, verse 4.
Isaiah 42 and 4. Oh, who's screaming like that? Well, she got bad at Joanne with that. You better go on and get her. All right. Go ahead.
It said, he shall not fail nor be discouraged till he has set judgment in the earth.
He said what in the earth?
He set judgment in the
See how that
earth.
Isaiah 16 say how he set that judgment in the earth.
And the isles shall wait for his law.
Dang, bro, you done slid on here, man. I will answer your question on here too, man. I'm gonna double back and reiterate it again, because I definitely had to answer it. I figured if he ain't sliding here yet, bro, I say, man, he might watch it back on the playback. But that was a good question you asked too, man. That's why I said let me go ahead and dispense that work on the street, because that was a real good question. Go ahead, man.
Thus saith Alahym, Yahuwah, he that created Shamahim and stretched them out, he that spread forth the earth and that which come out of it, he that gives breath unto the people upon it, and Ruach to them that walk therein. He gives breath
to the people what?
Upon it, and Ruach to them that walk therein.
So you seen him tell me that Muhammad helped give breath to people? When we see Yahusha breathing the Ruach on his apostles? Come on with it, man.
I, Yahuwah, have called you in righteousness and will hold your hand and will keep you and give you for a covenant of the people, for a light of the Gentiles.
This way he got the game twisted at. He never gave Muhammad for the covenant of the people. What does it mean? What does it say? He say gave. Tell me what that say in the book. That made me tired.
To give is Nathan, to give, to put, to set, to bestow, to grant, to permit, to ascribe, to employ, to devote, to consecrate, to dedicate.
He dedicated and set him apart for the covenant of the people. What did that man say? Sanctify him with your what? Your word is true. He say, take, drink, this is my what? Blood. See, he gave Yahusha for a covenant of the people. He never dared gave up. How he gonna give Muhammad for a covenant of the people? He married 9-year-olds. You know how he can't give Muhammad for a covenant of the people? It's one thing Muhammad done that he could never be able to give Muhammad for the covenant of the people. And what is that? He released seed. That man done ejaculated before. That man unclean. Can't give him. Can't give him. He got a blemish. He got a blemish. He can't give him. Y'all know that, don't you? What is that? That's Deuteronomy 19, man. Let me see. I think it's not Deuteronomy 19. Let me not tell y'all the wrong thing. Come on around here, sis. We should make sure we're in the right spot to do the right. And that's not to say that you're sinful if you've ejaculated, you understand? But if you have ejaculated, you are unclean. You're unclean. Dang, I done forgot what it is. I just know it. I ain't read it in so long. Yeah, we just got to go look at, can't give him no sacrifice with no blemish. Yep, that's what it is. Come on, 17:1. Listen to it.
You should not sacrifice unto Yahuwah your Alahym any bullock or sheep wearing his blemish, any evil favoredness, for that an abomination unto Yahuwah your Alahym.
You can't get it. He can't be that sacrifice that he unclean. That's why these dudes don't understand. That's why Mary had to be a virgin. If Joseph ejaculated in a womb unclean. The Son of God can't come through that. Yahuwah clean. Everything he attached to got to be clean. And again, it's not to say that having sex in marriage is wicked, but the act of releasing bodily fluids according to your law make you unclean. He got to be a clean sacrifice, acceptable to Yahuwah. Where you ever read this man say you can give me something defiled and I'll take it? You know why niggas think that way? Because you can't. You just bring Yahuwah whatever you want to bring him, and you think he's supposed to take it. Just know he gonna reject you like he rejected Cain. You can't bring Yahuwah what you want to bring him. You got to bring him what he told you. That's why you better be careful with these brews out here, man. They telling you can bring this man anything. You can't bring Yahuwah anything. You got to bring him what he told you to bring. And he told you to bring him a covenant by sacrifice. Ain't that what Psalm 50 say? And that's what a gift is, a sacrificial offering. If it's a sacrificial offering, that offering got to be clean. That's how you know that's Mashiach being given for a covenant to the people. It damn sure ain't no Muhammad. Who Muhammad died for? He was too busy having sex with sheep and little girls. That's what the book say. How you gonna take direction from a nigga who sleep with 9-year-olds? See, I mentioned that because y'all know this also from Genesis 38. How did Judah ended up sleeping with Tamar? How did that transpire? What were the actions that led up to that occurring? Before that, he was supposed to give his son to her. When he was what? When he was of age, when he was grown. See, these niggas want to walk around here talking about 14, 15-year-old grown. Boy, ain't nobody giving their daughter no 14, 15. Talking about Mary was 14 when she was married. Who told you that? Because you listen to a stupid nigga tell you a woman grown when she hit her period. Boy, Yahuwah never said that. That's you nasty niggas. Man, Isaac was good and 60 years old when he married Rebecca. You thought she was 14? You think Yahuwah sanctioning a 60-year-old man laying with a 14-year-old girl? You got your rabbit mind, man. You got your rabbit mind. You got to be crazy. You got to be a sick, perverted nigga to think about the fact that you telling other grown men, well, she hit her period, in Bible time, she could be your wife. Nigga, you nasty. That mean you telling me you sit around and look at little girls and daydream. That's what I take from that. Because I don't even know how it crossed your mind that it would even be acceptable to mess with a little girl. Nigga, that's a teenage girl. That's a child, nigga. Just because she had a period, you think she grown? That's not no woman. If you think a menstrual cycle make a girl a woman, you ought to be hung upside down and kicked dead in your face by a mule. For real, man. You's a nasty nigga. You got some problems. And I damn sure don't want you around my daughter. You are R. Kelly, nigga. You remember what R. Kelly did, didn't you? R. Kelly was friends with a dude. You know what I'm talking about? Think he was the goddaughter to the little girl and all. Soon as she turned 18, he got with her. That mean, nigga, was you looking at my daughter all her days? Nasty bastard. It's one thing if you like young girls, young teenage girls. It's another thing to mess with a little girl you watch grow up. I know you a pervert. You different. You different. You definitely different. That's a different level of perversion I don't think man is able to accomplish. And man's pretty perverted. You know what I'm talking about? Nevertheless, man, where we was at before Isaiah 42:6. Come on, read me Psalm 68 and 18 one more time. Matter of fact, don't even read it from there. Give me Ephesians 4 and 10, 4 and 9, man, and let that go.
Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all Shamahim, that he might fill all things.
That he might do what?
Fill all things.
What else, man?
And he gave some apostles, some prophets, some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers.
Pause. You know, those some of them gifts, right? We talked about it. Go ahead.
For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Alahym, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Mashiach.
That's right, Sister Jadina. You got to watch the babies, man. It's nasty men out here. It's nasty women, too. Because I ain't going to lie to you. It don't get discussed enough. It don't get talked about a lot. But some of these stomp leg, funky dog hoes be right here touching on these little boys, and niggas just be acting like it's cool because it's vagina. It's not cool for this grown, rusted woman to stick this little boy face in her vagina. You know what I'm talking about? It's not cool for this grown woman to have this young boy perform sexual acts on her because he's 12, 13, 14 years old. That junk ain't cool. It happened a lot. It happens more than people like to talk about because more people like to focus on men doing it. You know what I'm talking about? And the reason being is the common perception is it's a lot more traumatizing on young girls when they touched in that fashion than it is on boys if a woman do it to them. Because usually somebody be like, yeah, you got your older woman and all this other type of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? See, I'm not talking about no 24-year-old man messing with a 45-year-old woman. That's your business if that's what you want. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about a 12 to 15-year-old boy and this 30-year-old woman talking about I'm going to make you a man today. You a funky hoe. That's what you is. And your mama is too. You know what I'm saying? See, the only time they look at little boys really being traumatized is if a man molests him. You know what I'm saying? Because you see all these stories about these teachers getting caught having sex with these young kids in high school. Don't nobody say nothing. I've been told you this. How you know it's different? Because all my teachers was old and decrepit. You know what I'm talking about? It wasn't no teachers you were looking at like, boy, she fine, boy. See, now you got women who fresh out of college, they doggone self, teaching people who close enough to be their peers. So they feel like they can relate to him, baby. You 27. Why you messing with that 10th grader? Do you know how sad that is that you go to school and try to get the attention from little boys because you can't get it from grown men? I'm telling you, people do it. That's why women go to work in prisons. Civic, no, I ain't lying. Some of them women get more attention during that 8-hour shift than she'd have never got in 10 years. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. People just don't want to talk about it because it's women. But it's some women to be out here preying on them young boys, man. And you know the difference between it is a young boy who has sex with a grown woman is less than likely to say something because it's seen as a badge of honor. You know what I'm talking about? Versus a young girl, if she get touched by a grown man, that's what they were talking about that in one of them rooms, man, talking about women and men cheating. But you already know the difference, man. A man ain't never gonna say nothing. If a man can have sex with you and you got another dude and he taking care of you, you doggone right he ain't gonna say nothing. I ain't gotta take you out, I ain't gotta pay your rent, I ain't gotta buy you clothes. He gonna be quiet. He don't want to be your man. When you cheating on a woman with a woman, she wants to elevate in the position of your wife. She gonna say something. You know what I'm talking about? I want the trips. Y'all be seeing these stories, these women be stalking these niggas they cheating with. Look at him, he on vacation with his wife. She feel like that's supposed to be her. Oh, you bought your wife a car, huh? You don't buy me a car. Why would I? You know what I'm saying? I told y'all this before, man. I'm gonna tell you again, man. As a woman, man, if you willing to be a man's side piece, you already know you're not a wife. If you know a man has a wife and you willing to toot your booty in the air for this man on a consistent basis, you've already shown that you are now a wife. Because no self-respecting woman who is a wife would put herself knowingly in that position. It's only in my mind. I would tell you, I seen a reel. I think I put a reel in there with Al Green. I ain't know that man was messing with that woman like that who threw them grits on him. He didn't know that woman was married. That's what he said. Do you know what I'm saying? He may have not known. That could have been the Lord getting him whether you knew or not. You committed adultery with another man's wife. I'm going to make sure she put some grits on you. Now what the Lord say you do, you sleep with her. He say you ain't. You destroy your own soul. Then the woman killed herself. But if she killed herself and she did all that crazy stuff, he probably didn't know. Because you know how I knew this nigga was wild, bro. You know how I knew this was just vagina for him? She like, yeah, man. She said she loved me. And I was like, yeah, cool. Well, man, if you tell a man you love him, that nigga like, you know what? I like you too. Baby, just leave. Just go ahead and leave. He don't fool with you like that. I ain't talking about if it's too early. And you can tell, like, yeah, you might have held that back. When that nigga hit you with, you know what? It's nice to know. Well, if you listen to this nigga in the interview, bro, when he say this junk, that nigga was, I could tell when that woman said, I love you, Al. He was like, you know what? That's great. Thank you for telling me. He was unmoved. That's how you know that was just vagina for him. I was telling a young lady that, man, a lot of young women get themselves in trouble with that. You don't realize you just vagina to him. You hoping that one day he'll look at you as more than vagina. But baby, that day ain't never coming. I know some women like to say, you're a placeholder for his dream woman. I've never met a man who dreamed of a woman. You know what I'm talking about? And I never met a man who had a woman for a placeholder. I met a man who had a woman because he ain't had nowhere to live. Or he didn't want to give up consistent bonds. So he stayed somewhere he didn't want to be. That's not like women don't do this. It's grown people all in America who do this. This the society that we live in. This is not a woman thing or a man thing. This is where we live at. Y'all know women who just stay with a dude because he pay all the bills. She don't like this nigga. She never liked this nigga. She only married this nigga because he take care of her. She just there. She don't like him. Until she meet a dude who she like. Now she go over here. Know how many? Man, look here, man. I hope this man ain't say this here. Man, I seen the clip, man, that Russell Wilson say God told him to go be Future's son's daddy. Well, if that man say that, that man need to be kicked dead in his head and hit with a brick. Because, boy, God ain't told you to do that. That boy got a daddy. I don't care. I don't know what they got going on for it. But do you know how sad and pathetic? Like, this nigga wants to rub in his face, I'm raising your son. Do you understand how delusional and feminine and emotional that is? A reason why I say that, this nigga got 3 kids of his own. You don't never see Russell Wilson with his other kids. Y'all do know this man got 3 kids from this woman. Why you ain't never with your other son? I never understood. I never paid attention to that till I heard that today. Like, this nigga ain't never do nothing. I never seen you at practice and training camp with your other son. Why is you doing this with another man's son? Why did you come out here and say, Future, we don't need your money? You alive? Send it. That's your baby. Shoot, send it. I send every dime. Send it. Please send it. I'm not going to tell that nigga don't send that money. You send that on through. That's your baby. Why would I tell a man try to absolve a man from his responsibility? Brother, you know how weird you got to be, man? I'm talking about dead serious that you got it convinced in your mind that you want to take another man's seed and make it yours. We're not talking about how Yahuwah did it. Took natural man's seed and say, I'm going to make you spiritual seed so you can be mine. You know this boy got a daddy. Why are you trying to disconnect this man from his daddy? And you got grown women telling men we ought to be like him. Don't nobody want to be like that. See, a lot of people think that niggas don't like him for how he treat his old lady. I done told you, niggas don't care. Nobody cares. If he love his old lady, that's fine. Nobody cares, man. Love her to death. You know what I'm saying? Lick a butt. Eat a boo-boo. Whatever it is you got going on. It's the fact of that he do certain things that people look at, that's questionable for somebody to behave. And you saying that I should behave like that. Because to get out here and say God told you to go be this boy daddy when he had a daddy, it's weirdo levels on max. Now, how would you ladies feel if the nigga you were married to say God told me to take your son and make him mine? Or is it cool because he got a $250,000 contract, so it's cool if he say that? You know what I'm talking about? Because if I met a woman and I had a child and she said, God told me I need to come be the mother of your child, I'd never talk to that woman again in life. Because, boy, I know the Lord told you a lot of things, but I know he ain't told you that. My baby got a mama. My son got a mama. I don't need you to be there. No. Why do we think that's acceptable? That's not cool. That's how you get killed. See, ladies, y'all probably won't kill nobody about your jit like that. Nah, yeah, you'll think about it. But when it comes down to shedding blood, you come back to your senses. I might go to prison. Boy, dudes will kill a nigga about their child, man. They'll kill a dude about their child, man. Dudes kill somebody about their child, man. Don't play them type of games, man. That's weird, bro. That make me think maybe that boy is still sleeping with his old lady. Because that's not normal behavior for any man. You know what I'm saying? Like, because why else would you want to flaunt that you want to be this man's child's father unless this nigga really smashing your old lady? And you feel like that's your only get back. But it's not normal behavior. I don't know the man. But if I swear across anybody in life that said the same thing, I would be appalled and taken aback and say, brother, do you need some prayer? Because I don't know what spirit talked to you, but that wasn't the spirit of God. I've never known God to behave this way. Have you known him to do this?
You must serve God of a lesson.
I'm not saying that to disparage this man. This ain't got nothing to do with how he treat his old lady. If you don't think that's weird, I don't know what to say to you. Because to hear a grown man say, God told me to replace your daddy and I be your daddy. Nigga, that's weird. That is weird. You know what I'm saying? That leads me to believe, would you possibly molest this boy? Because that's an abnormal infatuation with a child. Oh, my bad. Come on, man. Where we at?
Ephesians 4.
You good over there? Come on, give me Ezekiel 46 and 16. Y'all weigh and consider. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's weird to me. I know we read what? Proverbs the other day? What that Proverbs we read? I'm going to see. Go ahead with it.
Thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, if the prince give a gift unto any of his sons, the inheritance thereof shall be his sons.
Shall be his who?
His sons.
Be his who?
His sons.
Okay.
Is their possession by inheritance.
That's right.
But if he give a gift of his inheritance to one of his servants, then it shall be his to the year of liberty. After it shall return to the prince, but his inheritance shall be his sons for them.
Listen, the inheritance will be his sons. Let's go back to 1 Corinthians 12 and 1, man, and let's look into these gifts. Because this is going to be his sons. We kind of talked about it already. We're going to work it down again.
Now concerning spiritual brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away into these dumb idols, even as you were led. Wherefore I give you to understand that no man speaking by the Ruach of Alahym call Yahushua accursed. And no man can say that Yahushua is the Lord, but by the Ruach HaKadosh. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Ruach. There are differences of administrations, but the same Lord.
That's good. We read that already. Drop down to verse 27. Y'all boy matching.
Now you are the body of Mashiach and members in particular. Now Alahym hath set some in the assembly, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. All apostles.
Are all apostles?
All prophets.
Are all prophets?
All teachers.
Are all teachers?
All workers of miracles.
Everybody got a miracle?
Have all the gifts of healing.
Everybody heals?
Do all speak with tongues.
You talk with another language?
Do all interpret.
You interpret too?
But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
He told you to desire the best gift. Come on to verse 1 of chapter 13, man, and tell them what them gifts is, man.
Though I speak with the tongues of men and of Malachim and have not love, I am become sounding brass or tinkling cymbal.
Come on.
Though I have prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I can remove mountains, and have not love, I am nothing.
I'm nothing.
And though I bestow all my goods to the poor, or to feed, and though I give my body to be burned and have not love, it profit me nothing.
It profit me nothing.
Love suffer long, is kind. Love envy not. Love vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up. Does not behave itself unseemly, seek not her own, is not easily provoked, and think no evil. Rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. Bear all things, believe all things, hope all things, endure all things.
He said, because love what?
Never fail.
Whether prophecies,
they shall fail.
whether tongues,
they shall cease.
Whether knowledge,
it shall vanish away.
For we know in part,
and we prophesy in part.
But drop down to verse 13 and listen what this man said.
And now abides faith, hope, love, these three, but the greatest of these is love.
Come over here to Romans 12:1, man. A lot of people don't realize when we read it last night, you know, gifts of faith, gifts of wisdom, gifts of knowledge. But the gift of love is a gift from God. And you know how we know this? Because he gave his only begotten son. This is why he say, greater love have no man than these, that a man lay his life down for his friend. So for this man to get, because Alahym is love. So for him to give you that type of mind, that's why he say that's the greatest gift. Those say I was taken aback when he said one of his favorite music videos is one of Sierra and Fucci. That's wild. You know why he say he want? I told you why he said he wanted to marry that woman. Because he seen her dancing in the music video and he liked the way her booty jiggled. This is what this man said. That's why he wanted to be with her. He liked the way she moved. He was listening to Sleepy Brown and Big Boy. And he was gone. As a man, as a man who claimed he was a Christian, he didn't pay attention to what Yahuwah taught him. What Yahuwah taught you about stuff like that? Lust not after her beauty with your eyelids. And he got him. God forbid that woman leave him. That man gonna kill himself. And on the sad part is, I hope she don't leave him for one reason and one reason alone. Because the rejoicing of goofy niggas on the internet would be so doggone disgusting. You know what I'm talking about? I told you. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want that to happen just for that. Besides the other stuff of you don't want no broken home, all this whole other stuff. You know what I'm saying? The natural stuff of what can happen to them interpersonally along with the children. But the fact of incel, goofy simp, beta male niggas who will be jumping up and down so happy that that woman divorced this nigga will be so vile and disgusting, bro, that I'd have to stay off the internet for a month straight because they going to have a field day with that, bro. It's going to be niggas happy like, oh, I guess you thought she going to give you some coochie now. That woman don't want you. You know, it's always funny to me when they say they must want Sierra. I never saw Sierra as a very attractive woman, ever. She looked like a boy. I mean, she got a grown woman body now, but I'm talking about back then she looked like a boy. You know, allegedly they used to say she was a boy. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I mean, like I say, she was a young girl, so she didn't have her complete adult female, you know what I'm saying, physique. But it wasn't nothing looking at her like, ooh, I just got to have her. Look at, man, then on top of that, you married to a great man and you on the internet clapping your booty cheeks and this goofy nigga standing there with her. You know what I'm talking about? She going out in public with her nipples out. You're taking videos with your lobbyist showing for the whole world to see. This ain't no wife, this a whore. And you know what goofy niggas be quick to say? Well, you know she in entertainment. That's Instagram. Instagram didn't ask you to put your bare vagina on there. Nobody asked you to clap your booty cheeks in a Wendy's parking lot. The only reason I know about it for people making content about her doing it. Man, I wish I would be married to a woman who would start twerking in the middle of a Wendy's parking lot. I don't care if she's famous or not. I don't care if you sing, dance, skip, or hop. You can get your behind out my house. I'm embarrassed. I don't want my woman twerking in public. In public? And I ain't there? And we not dancing? Because that would be the only way that I can even imagine this could be permissible in public. That we are somewhere in a nightclub dancing and you decided that this is what you wanted to do. And even then I don't want you to do it. I'm just saying that's the only way that I can see that being. I don't want my woman on the internet posting video. That means you wanted other men to see your booty jiggle. I'm talking about dishonoring it. That's how I look at it. You clapping your booty cheeks around here, man, on camera and upload it. You don't love me. Let me go ahead and get some Jack Daniels, man, and call my lawyer. Because it's over. It's over. But you know, some dudes don't mind that. Some dudes don't mind their old lady going outside looking like a common street walker. They cool with it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And that's before the word. I'm not going to be married to no woman who behave that way. Married to her? But if she twerking on the ground, boy, you already know. On the block, she sucking. She doing all that. Boy, if a woman get on the internet half naked, gyrating her body around, you better believe she auctioning that off to the highest bidder at any and all time. See, you looking appalled, but as I've been around too many hoes, boy, I know better. I know better. On the internet, you're courting male attention. You're specifically doing that to get male validation and attention. You're not doing that for yourself. You don't put on some skin tight clothes, some sheer outfit, and start clapping booty cheeks. But talking about, I just feel liberated. Yeah, you finna go liberate your vagina for some cash, ho. That's not what wives do. You got to be a goddamn fool to think you got a wife and she doing that. Hell, you ain't got to have no internet. If she feel comfortable gyrating around in a sexual fashion while other men are present, you don't have a wife. You have a whore whom you have married. That's what you have. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what you got. You got to be crazy. That's right. See, Mika said she better be validated by God and her husband. But remember the bill of goods they sold you? That they were abstinent because they were Christians who served God. And the minute she got married, she started being the raggedy, stomp, dag horse she always been. You got to be a goddamn fool to go for that. This woman been getting hit by some of the most. This woman done been smashed by 50 Cent. Ain't no godliness in her. You mess with 50 Cent, boy. There's a lot of things in you. It ain't God. Definitely ain't that. You wanted to marry Future. God was far from you. Far from you. Far from you. Listen, I'm not saying that to disparage people. I'm saying this as a godly man. As a godly man, I would not pick a woman who I knew had a child from a degenerate. And not only that, but that you have a history of rolling with degenerates, and now you only want to be godly so you can be with me. That's the no, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. This ain't just for her. This anybody. You don't want no woman who now she want to be godly so she can be with you. She's supposed to be godly before you meet her. You don't get no woman and now she want to be godly to be with you. She's supposed to already be on that. If you do that, you set yourself up for failure. It's the same thing, ladies. You don't meet no dude and tell me, I want you to hear my pastor. I want you to go to church with me. He should already be on the word when you meet him. And he ain't on the word when you meet him, baby. That man gonna fillet your loins and leave you where he found you. I'm trying to tell you. Don't fall for that. That's the oldest trick in the book that doggone hypocrite niggas use, man. Oh, she a church girl? I'm gonna act like I'm on the word too. Oh, he like to go to church. I'm gonna be a virtuous woman for him. See, I rise up early and bring meat to my house. Yeah, man, don't fall for that. If you serious about the word, man, and you unmarried, you supposed to deal with somebody who. Remember, I told you that years ago. You don't get no woman who ain't already on that. She need to be already on that when you meet her. That means she was walking that path regardless of you. Man, people be whatever they want you. They'll be whatever that you want them to be if it's something that they feel like they can get out of you. You know what I'm saying? If that woman feel like she can get provision and protection, and all she got to do is act like she's virtuous, she gonna be a virtuous woman then. But that's what I told you, man. All you got to do is be with people long enough. People be talking about you need to hurry up and get married, man. You ain't supposed to marry nobody no 6 months to a year. You don't know that woman. Hell, you don't know that man. Man, you know how long it take to really know somebody, man? About 5 years. Now, I'm not telling you to be with somebody for 5 years, because I don't think none of y'all got that level of sexual discipline. You know what I'm talking about? But you don't really know nobody till about 5 years, man. Because you can't pretend for 5 years. You can pretend for a year, maybe even a year and a half. Shoot, maybe 2. But when you talk about 60 months, 120 months, 5 to 10 years, you can't pretend that long. You can't pretend that long. I've been telling you that for years. Well, people pretend good. If it's something that they want, they'll play the long game. You know what I'm talking about? But one thing about it, man, it's only so long that fake thugs can pretend. That's what Jay-Z told you, didn't he? Because eventually your true character gonna show up when you get caught up in real life situations. You know what I'm talking about? You're only gonna be able to pretend for so long. But when you thinking with your loins and you just want to be married because you desperate, like what that big whole name was? You know the big girl. I can't remember her name. It ain't coming to me. Look at I told you knew. Risa? Tisa. Was it? Yeah. Why did I get married? Who did I marry? It's the same difference. Either way it go, baby was built like a deep freezer. She should have known that wasn't gonna be no good move. She was built like a deep freezer and even had no churn. It was a girl I went to school with. She had a nice shape when we were young. She ended up looking like 2 smashed up beach balls. Never had no kids. I said, how did that happen? How did that happen? I can see if you lose your figure, you done had some churn. That's a given. That's normal. You know what I'm talking about? I would hope you would want to, work out and just for your own self, for your own. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, I want to look good and feel good. But baby, you ain't even had no kids. Why you look like that? I'm for real though. I'm talking about just like a bag of just lumpy laundry. Before you had a jit. I already know what that is. That's just eating and screwing. That's all you're doing. Eating and screwing. I knew her personally, so I know she was doing a lot of screwing. You know what I'm talking about? Just eating and screwing. That's a recipe for getting bloated. You know what I'm talking about? You can't be sitting around doing that. Your only physical activity is hunching. Go outside, man. Take a walk. Lift a weight. Dribble a ball. Not them balls. Basketball. You know what I'm saying? Go do some suicides. You know what I'm talking about? Don't live your life like that. I tell y'all this stuff for you to tell it to the churn, man. All jokes aside. Talk to them babies, man. Don't let them babies go out there and you make a fool out of yourself. Say discernment and making sure you go to Yahuwah before you get married. Yeah, but I just say, and that's true. You need that, but you definitely need somebody who already own that. You ain't got no time to be converting nobody. I done told you that before. You're selfish if you're doing that. You don't really care about that person. You're trying to make yourself feel better about somebody you lusting after being on the word so you can feel better about being with them. That's why you see all these brews crying about runaway wives and all this other stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Because y'all niggas nasty. You're nasty. You know what I'm talking about? You make sure you ready. You ready? Are you ready? You know what Triple A said. If you got to ask for what, you ain't ready then. That man say he like his flapjacks early in the morning, light butter, warm. I was right. Hell no. Boy say he don't want no glizzies with his breakfast. Just bacon. I'm just messing with you. Don't pay me no money. Come on. You saying Yahuwah got to be my first love? Listen, right? Yahuwah got to be everybody's first love. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he definitely got to be everybody's first love. But I say, but in all seriousness though, but you just got to make sure whoever you dealing with that's what they own, and not because of you. Now, see, some of y'all is different. If you already been together for years, that's a different conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Because some people, they come in, you know what I'm saying? Think for most of y'all, you're like, hey, well, shoot, we going to do it together. Some people come in and they wife be on the word and the husband don't. Or the husband be on the word and the wife don't. That's just not something that most of y'all have encountered to actually see how contentious that can be. You know what I'm talking about? Or two people who are already together, and then one get on the word and the other's not. That's a different type of scenario. We talking about you ain't got no husband, no wife, and here come Johnny come lately, and you like this here, and he ain't on no word. He cute. I hope he dragged you through the mud for being stupid. Reason why I say that, because I would have been done told you. Why you trying to fool with a nigga who not even on that? Don't get yourself intertwined in that. You're going to get hurt. Then when you get hurt, you want somebody to feel sorry for you. I don't feel sorry for you. You know what I'm talking about? Because you were already told. Yahuwah tell you to do that. Yahuwah don't tell you to just go around here and be linked up with anybody. Because that's what you want to do. You're thinking with your loins. You're not thinking with the ruach. It'll get you in trouble every single solitary time. And it ain't just about picking no spouse, neither. You know what I'm talking about? Go on and read it for him, Sid. You know what we need. Matthew 26 and 41. Was that funny to you?
Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The ruach indeed willing, but the flesh weak.
The ruach indeed is what?
It's willing,
But the what?
flesh is weak.
That's why you say you better pray for you enter in temptation, get yourself in a situation and circumstance that you can't deliver yourself from. Now, he said that the gifts are for the son are for his sons. And we're talking about spiritual gifts also. And I think we read that Proverbs 19. Run that back. What's that Proverbs? It's Proverbs 17.
I was holding Romans 12 and 1.
Yeah, 12 and 1. Run that for me. Then we come to Proverbs 17.
He said, I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Alahym, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, Kadash, acceptable unto Alahym, your reasonable service.
Your reasonable service.
Be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what that good and acceptable and perfect will of Alahym.
Mm-hmm.
For I say, through the mercy given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Alahym have dealt to every man the measure of faith.
For we,
many members in one body, and
all members
have not the same office.
All members
have not the same office.
So we,
many are one body in Mashiach.
Everyone,
members one of another.
Having then gifts,
differing according to the mercy that is given to us, whether prophecy, according to the proportion of faith, or ministry.
Pause. Listen, look at what these gifts that he say that can be extended. What's the first one he mentioned?
Prophecy.
He said, according to the whether prophecy. Listen, male or female can prophesy. That's a gift. You know what I'm talking about? Listen what the next thing he say.
Or ministry.
Pause. Ministry ain't talking about teaching. Ministry is service. It is a gift to be able to serve. This is what he's telling you. Tell him what that Greek word for ministry is, man. Ministry here ain't talking about no teaching. Because he's going to tell you teaching right behind ministry.
Mm-hmm. That's diakonia or diaconia, that is service or ministering of those who execute the command of others.
That execute the what?
The commands of others.
So to minister is to follow the instructions of somebody else. Let's look at Luke 8 and 1, and let's look at some women who had the gift of ministry, if you would. Luke 8 and 1.
And it came to pass afterward that he went throughout every city and village, preaching and showing the glad tidings of the kingdom of Alahym, and the 12 with him. And certain women which had been healed of evil ruachs and infirmities, Mary called Magdalene, out of whom went 7 devils. Mm-hmm. And Joanna, the wife of
Pause. I just want y'all to realize this here, man, and I say this every time we hear it. Stop letting people tell you Mary Magdalene was a whore. The word didn't say that woman was a whore. It said she had 7 unclean spirits in her. Didn't say nothing about her being a whore. See, they get her being a whore confused with Mary who washed his feet. That's a whole nother woman. Go ahead.
And Joanna, the wife of Cusa, Herod, Stewart, and Susanna, and many others, which ministered unto him of their substance.
Minister to him of they what?
Of their substance.
Do you see that they had a gift from God? People don't look at serving the others and following the direction of others as a gift from God. Do you see how backwards we is, man? Look at Matthew 20 and 24 and look at what this man said. And after that, Luke 17 and 9.
And when the 10 heard, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. But Yahushua called them and said, you know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, mm-hmm. and they that are great exercise authority upon them. Mm-hmm. But it should not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister.
Let him be your what?
Your minister.
Let him be your what?
Your minister.
Oh. Come on.
And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant.
What else?
Even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister.
He said he didn't come to serve, to be served, but to what?
To minister.
So that means that he under the command of somebody else. Let's see how we know that. Finish that out and then John 12
and to give his life a ransom for many.
John 12 and 49. And that's what his father commanded him. And that went back to when we were talking about the Isaiah 22. And how Jacob went from Jacob to Israel, and how Yahushua's name gonna be changed, so therefore all his sons' name get changed. Because the objective is to become the sons and daughters of Alahym, not to be an Israelite per se. That time period is past. It's relevant in the flesh. How do we know it's relevant in the flesh? What advantage have the Yahudim? chiefly in every way, because the oracles of Alahym were delivered to them first. That's your advantage. You get first crack at it. What better advantage is that? Continue. John 12 and 49. Y'all over there playing, talking?
So for I have not spoken of myself, but the Abba which sent me, he gave me a commandment, what I should say and
My
what I
father
should
give
speak.
me a what?
A commandment.
What I should what?
Should say and what I should speak.
Go ahead.
And I know that his commandment is life everlasting. Whatsoever I speak, therefore, even as the Abba said unto me, so I speak.
You're right about that a moment. So listen. There was one more thing. That's pretty much it. Come on back to Romans 12. I thought it was something else, but we just
I said Luke 17.
Yeah, Luke 17 and 9. That's what it was. Appreciate it.
He said, do he think that servant because he did the things that were commanded him?
5. I didn't want to make sure I was in the right position.
And the apostle said unto the Lord, increase our faith. And the Lord said, if you have faith.
Listen what he said. He said, increase our what?
Our faith.
Now I want you to hear what this man, the scenario that he used to increase these men's faith. Listen.
If you had faith as a grain of mustard seed, you might say unto this sycamore tree, be you plucked up by the root and be you planted in the sea, and it should obey you.
Listen.
But which of you having a servant plowing or feeding
cattle?
Notice
that to increase their faith, he gonna talk about service. A lot of people don't talk about that. People pay attention to that right there, man. I don't think they do. Come on.
But which of you having a servant plowing or feeding cattle will say unto him by and by when he is come from the field, go and sit down to meat? And will not rather say unto him, make ready wherewith I may sup, and gird yourself and serve me till I have eaten and drunken, and afterward you shall eat and drink? Do he think that servant because he did the things that were commanded him?
I got you, Eric.
I think not. So likewise, when you shall have done all those things which are commanded you, say we are unprofitable servants. We have done that which was our duty to do.
It's a gift from God for you to have the opportunity to serve. Give me Hebrews 6 and 9.
But beloved, we are persuaded better things of you, and things that accompany salvation, though we thus speak.
Listen what this man say.
For Alahym, not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love.
Your work and what?
Labor of love, which you have showed toward his name, and that you have ministered to the saints and do minister.
Listen, of course you know what that service, right? You get the word deacon, and people be talking about a deaconess, but deacon and deaconess ain't got nothing to do with preaching. A minister is a minister. They're a servant. That's why the minister in that 1 Timothy 3, he is under the authority of the bishop. He moved how the bishop tell him to move. Because he's a servant. When you are a servant, you are literally under the authority of another. That's what he said in Matthew 2. That's what that is. And that's a gift. Most people don't even look at that as that being a gift. Come back to Romans 12, man. Read again. And notice again, when Mashiach went to talk about them to increase their faith, he went to talking to them about service. We should harken back, if you remember, we did a video years back that, Malik served. But that's a whole nother conversation. Come on, man. Romans 12 and 7.
Or ministry on ministering, or he that teach on teaching.
So notice, right? He say, if you want to serve, then wait for your gift for you to be able to serve. Ministry and teaching are not the same thing. People just use ministry when it's supposed to be service. You can be a minister and not be a teacher. But you can't be a teacher and not be a minister. If you understand what I'm saying. Because you can be a minister and not be a teacher, but you can't be a teacher and not be a minister. That's not how that works. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not how any of that works. Continue.
Or he that exhort on exhortation.
Listen here. Tell them what exhortation is. So it's a gift from God for you to exhort. Notice that he said the gifts in Ezekiel, then he said it go back to the prince, and that's his inheritance. See, the inheritance and the gifts are two different things. It's two different things. Come on with it.
Paraklesis, that's a calling there, summons, supplication, entreating, exhortation, admonition, encouragement.
Encouragement. It's a gift from God for you to be able to encourage somebody. Let's look at Luke 2 and 44, because somebody asked this last night, and you can look at a woman giving exhortation. Because that's not gender specific. You know what I'm talking about? That's a gift from God if you have the ability to do that. Luke 2 and 44. Tell me what it's like.
But they, supposing him to have been in the company when a day's journey.
I got you out of pocket. Let me get you right. I got you out of pocket. Let me get you right. Yeah, well, 2 and 25 is what we need. Is that what we need? No. I need to swing on down. It's 2 and 36. That's what we need. Luke 2 and 36.
And there was one Anna, a prophetess, the daughter, a prophetess.
See that how she had that gift? Look at what else she do.
The daughter of Phanuel of the tribe of Aser.
She was of what?
Of a great age.
She lived with her husband.
7 years from her virginity.
And she was a
widow of about 84 years.
Remember, she was a widow for 84 years. That means this woman was how old?
91.
She was 91 years old. Listen.
Which departed not from the temple.
She never left the house of God. That means once her husband died, she devoted herself completely to Yahuwah. She had no desire to do anything else. Continue.
But served with fastings and prayers night and day.
Notice how she says she served with what?
Fastings and prayers.
See, it's a lot of women in this day and time that they don't want to serve like you see this godly woman here serving by fasting and praying for the people. See, you want to know as a woman what are the greatest things you can do for your household is to fast and pray for your household. You don't need to tell your husband that you fasting for them. You don't need to tell your children that you fasting for them. You don't need to tell them that you praying for them. We undervalue that. Honestly, were you over there passing gas, boy? We undervalue that because I believe a lot of people don't believe that their voice going to be heard in heaven. Now, of course, you know in Isaiah 58, it tells you that fasting is specifically for the purpose for your voice to be heard on high. So if it's something that you would desire for your family, then it would behoove you to fast for your family because you want to be heard, that your request might be granted by Yahuwah because you're chastening your body from what it needs so that he might hear what it is that you desire. Remember, Mashiach told you that you should always pray and not to what? Not to faint. We can say she heavy on the fasting and praying. You see this what this godly woman doing. I remember because her sister had commented on the video when they got mentioned last night to drop him, and I put him in the comment for. Look at how these women behave. They're not doing what you see a lot of the women in these days and time behaving. And you know the difference between the women in the text and some of the women in these days and times is the women in the text had a much greater faith than what a lot of women in these days and times have. And it's not because the women in these days and times are necessarily evil or wicked. You're going to have faith when ain't nobody teaching you about that. Because we already know the men ain't got no faith. That's evident. You know what I'm talking about? That's evident. That's evident because when it's discussed, they mock and ridicule you for even mentioning such a thing. You know what I'm talking about? But read that again, what this woman did in the house of God all the time, man. Verse 37.
And she, a widow of about 84 years, which departed not from the temple, but served with fastings and prayers night and day.
And she coming.
And the instant gave thanks likewise unto the Lord.
And spake of him.
To all them that look for redemption in Jerusalem.
You see how she's doing admonition or exhortation right there? She encouraging everybody she came across. Listen, right? Encouraging is not the same as teaching words. See, I don't think a lot of brothers and sisters understand the difference between the two. Hashem, what's good, my G? Encouraging somebody is not let me give you some scriptures and let me break this. That's not what encouragement is. That's not what that is. That's male or female. This ain't gender specific. You have to, when you look at the base word of encourage in English, it is to what? To add to courage, which is to add to strength. So when you're giving exhortation or you're encouraging somebody, you're trying to add to their faith to give them strength. That's not what we be out here doing. That's male or female. That's not what we out here doing. And you wondering why people so weak. Because we know what does Isaiah 26:3 say? He keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in Yahuwah. For trust in Yahuwah is everlasting strength. What you think Anna the prophetess was out there doing? Encouraging people to stay strong in the faith. If you pay attention and you look at some of these older clips, that's what they say the older women, mothers in the church used to do. Now we ain't got no older mothers nowhere because they too busy trying to pop their thought pocket. You know what I'm talking about? And compete with their daughters and granddaughters. Instead of actually being that godly, virtuous woman that Titus said that they should be. Bless, bro, bless. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to that, man. Because I'm talking about actually being effective in the vocation of the administration of salvation to the heirs of it. that you can actually do something that's going to be actually beneficial to the people who you're interacting with. Not doing it how you say you want to do it, but doing it how it be effective for the esteeming of the Father in heaven through Yahushua HaMashiach and to the benefit of your brothers and sisters. Continue on this, sir.
And when they had performed all things according to the law of the Lord, they returned to Galilee to their own city.
Okay, that's good. That's good on that one now. Now listen, right? Verse 8 of Romans 12. Listen what it say.
Or he that exhort on exhortation, he that give
Paul,
with simplicity.
it's that man say it's a gift to be able to give. Look at it, right? I was talking to you. I told you this last night. I mean, let me find that passage, man. Or where that's at. Hold on. Let me find that passage real quick. It's in my brain. I can't remember what letter it's in. Because I told you about it yesterday. I want you to come over here to 2 Corinthians chapter 9. Second Corinthians 9:1. And listen to what it say, because it say on giving, right? So I want you to pay attention to this. 2 Corinthians 9:1. We finna get ready to wrap this thing up, man.
For as touching the ministering to the saints,
so as touching the service to the Kased, to the Kadeshim. It is what?
Superfluous for me to write to you.
For I know the forwardness
of your mind, for which I boast of you to them in Macedonia.
That Achaia
was ready a year ago.
And your zeal
have provoked very many.
Yet have I
sent the brethren, lest our boasting of you should be in vain in this behalf.
That as I said,
you may be ready.
Less happily,
if they of Macedonia come with me and find you unprepared,
we say not, you should be ashamed
in this same confident boasting.
Therefore, I thought it necessary to exhort the brethren
that they would go before unto you
and make up beforehand your bounty,
whereof you had noticed before, that the same might be ready
as
a bounty and not of covetousness.
Paul. So this man saying that we're sending you forward to be able to have something, be able to assist somebody, that it don't be out of covetousness or out of lust. You understand? Listen to what he telling you, because we're going to reference some things out of the law or the prophets on this in a second. Listen to what he say. But this,
he which sow sparingly shall also reap sparingly.
And he which sow
bountifully shall also reap bountifully.
Every man according
as he purpose in his heart.
So let him what?
Give,
not grudgingly,
or of necessity.
For Alahym love of what?
A cheerful giver.
Now tell him what grudgingly means. See, this is what happened when you looked at Cain. This is why Cain got cut off, because he gave grudgingly.
That's lupe, that's sorrow, pain, grief, annoyance, affliction.
Annoyance and affliction. You remember what was Eli's son's issue? Do you recall? Who knows what Eli's son's issue was? Not just only were they knocking the women down in the temple. Not just that one there, but they abhorred the sacrifice of Yahuwah. It was an annoyance to them. Do you recall like what it say in Haggai when it say my house lay waste where you dwell in sealed houses? It's because to give, it's an annoyance to you. That's what you see when you see with a lot of brews, when you see that or how they come with this here. And I understand that. We talk about this all the time. It's because of what they see in the church, right? Like you've seen somebody got shot at Joel Osteen church a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm talking about? And people look at those type of men and be like, man, they fleecing the people. But at the end of the day, them people cheerfully give their money to this man, whether they're a liar or not. Let me tell y'all something real, man. I know I probably done said this before, but if I haven't, I've been remiss. Don't you realize, man, if Yahuwah is allowing these people to donate to these men, tithe to these men, that's for these men to go to hell? Why are you upset because Yahuwah want these men to go to hell? Let them get their filthy lucre so they can die. Who you think he put in? Bro, this man, Jesse Duplantis, went and stood in front of these people and said, I got chandeliers that cost more than your whole salary. Then what he telling the people who he preaching to? Who willfully and cheerfully give him all their money. When you also look at somebody who was a chill forgiver, you can see that with David, obviously. You see that obviously with Jacob. You also see that with Abraham. And so on and so forth. Continue. Alahym, this is verse 8 of 2 Corinthians chapter 9. Alahym,
able to make all mercy abound toward you, that you always having all sufficiency in all,
may abound
to every good work.
As it is written,
he have dispersed abroad, he have given to the poor.
His righteousness what?
Remain forever.
Now that he ministers seed to the sower.
Both minister bread for food and multiply your seed sown.
See, I know that's what they hit you with in church, to sow a seed. But listen what he said. He said, now he that serves seed to the sower both serve bread for food and multiply your seed sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness. What do you think that means? If somebody has served seed to the sower, meaning somebody brought an offering to Paul, remember this is something that's detailed in the law that most people don't really pay attention and look at. And that's the aspect of, matter of fact, let me just reference this in the law because we're going to have to be swift. The Lord told you, the poor you have with you always, right? Does your law not say that? He said the poor will always be in the land. What are some of the things that he told you to do for the poor as it pertains to your law? Leave fruits out the hedge. Don't take them all so he that poor can eat them. What did he tell you that you're supposed to make sure when you brought tithes or you brought offerings that you're supposed to set them aside for who? The Levites, the fatherless, the widows, and the poor. Is that not what it say in your law? So when you see this man Paul talking about all of these things, this is what it's referencing back to, are the elements that's in your law. He's not telling you nothing other than what's in the law. This is why he can speak like this. You have to remember, if he's writing an epistle to the Corinthians, these people already know the law. And you know how we know they know the law? Because he taught them. Don't he say in 1 Corinthians 11 to keep the ordinances as I delivered them unto you? See, that's what these people don't understand. Paul can write the letters in the fashion he wrote the letters because these people were taught in the word already. And he taught them. He established that assembly in Corinth. He established that assembly in Ephesians. He established that assembly in Galatians. He set them up. Why you think he writing to these people? Because they wrote to him about what they had going on. Come on back, bro. I'm just reading all of it, but we're really here for the last verse. Come on with it, man. Verse 10.
You on Romans 12?
No, you're in 2 Corinthians 9, verse 10.
It say, now he that ministers seed to the sower, both minister bread for food and multiply your seed sown and increase the fruits of your righteousness.
Being enriched.
And everything to all bountifulness.
Which calls through us.
Thanksgiving to Alahym.
For the administration of this service.
Not only supply the want of the saints.
But it is abundant also by the what?
Many thanksgivings unto Alahym.
See, this is what people don't realize, man. In whatever service, now he talking about actual ministering food to the saints. Actual tangible items to the saints. That he said it brings forth the administration to supply the want or the need of the saints. But because the saints had need and because you did this, this redounds to thanks to God behind this operation. Continue. While by the experiment
of this ministration,
they esteem
Alahym for your professed subjection unto the gospel of Mashiach
and your liberal
distribution unto them,
unto all.
And by their prayer for you.
By their what for you?
Their prayer for you.
Which long after you.
For the exceeding mercy of Alahym in you.
Thanks be
unto Alahym for his unspeakable gift.
See, people don't pay attention. That man said that's a gift from God. Now you just read in Romans 12, he said to be able to do that, that's a gift. People don't pay attention to that because they don't know God. That's why we had the issue. Come on back to Romans 12, man, verse 8.
Or he that exhort on exhortation, he that give with simplicity.
Pause. Now I'm going to show you another example of somebody who gave with simplicity to show forth that gift. That's the Shumanite woman. Who is the Shumanite woman? Does anybody recall the Shumanite woman and why I'm mentioning her? Because it doesn't mention her name. So I can't do nothing but call her the Shumanite woman. That's the one who gave Elisha a place to stay. And what she said to set out there, she said set out a desk, a candle, a bed, and some bread. So that when he come through here, he can lay down and rest. She said, I perceive this be a man of Alahym. Do you not realize that she showed forth the gifts of service and giving at the same time? And look what Yahuwah did for her. Gave her a son. And when the son died, Yahuwah took it a step further and said, I'm going to show my power to you one more time. I'm going to send him back around here and raise your son from the dead. Because remember, what did the woman say when her son died when she seen Elisha? She said, have you called my sin to remembrance? That boy upset. You know what I'm saying? And was not her giving and rooted in simplicity? It was nothing more than here's somewhere to stay so you can have some light in the dark and some bread to eat while you're doing what you're doing. And she didn't do it because she was looking for anything in return. She did it because she perceived that was a man of God, and she believed that's what it was her duty to do. This is where you can see that if you give a man a glass of water, but in the name of a prophet, you shall in no wise lose your reward. See, that's what I mean by people don't know the word. They don't pay attention to that and see how them people view them men. I could give you another example. What did Saul say he needed to do the first time he went to meet Samuel? Take him a gift. He said, we can't go to this man empty-handed, asking for no word. Let's take him a gift. And it's not the fact of giving him a gift for monetary compensation. It's sitting back looking at, here's a sacrificial offering. And that's also in line of not the gift giving, the level of respect that they have for men who work for Yahuwah, that we don't have now. And I think we don't have that now because I believe that most people know that these men don't really work for Yahuwah, and that's why the respect is wanting. Then on the other end, you just got whole niggas who hate God, so they never gonna love the people who work for Yahuwah. I believe that our proper respect and looking at the men who work for Yahuwah is a direct reflection on how we look at God himself. That's why I always told you, whether I look at a dude, if I agree with his teaching or if he pull a sucker move, you ain't going to see me talking bad about that man. I ain't going to say nothing about it. I'll let Yahuwah deal with him. That's not my place. You know what I'm talking about? Because what if that man is a servant of God and he just out of pocket in them? He had a moment of stupidity. Now, I done got out of pocket by saying something about a man who worked for the Lord. That's why I've been told you for years, just learn to keep your mouth closed. You ain't got to talk about every person you just because you don't agree with their doctrine, you don't agree with what they did. Just hold your peace. Just hold your peace. You ain't got to do that. You can mess around and speak a word against your own soul because you done spoke against the wrong person. Learn to keep your mouth closed. It ain't going to hurt you. Don't the book of Proverbs told you if you thought evil, put your hand on your mouth. Don't say nothing. See, we feel like because I don't agree with his doctrine, I don't agree with this, or I don't agree with that, that pause, you can put your mouth on anybody. But boy, you can put your mouth on the wrong man and go to hell. Ain't that what happened with them 42 children? And when they say children, they wasn't children for real. They were young people. They people like to say them were little kids. They thinking them 8, 9-year-old kids. They were grown men. Those were young men. They spoke against the wrong man. It cost them their life. Well, if you speak against a servant of Yahuwah, he a servant of Yahuwah indeed, well, you could be speaking the word against your own soul. Because you're not speaking against that man, you're speaking against Yahuwah. Remember what the Lord told you in Matthew 25. If you did this to the least of my servants, you did it to me. So if you done served the least of his servants, remember, that's why I would tell you, when you look at people, you ought to see the Lord. Because whether he preached the word or not, well, if that man is of God and you do something for him, remember what he told Paul when he showed himself to Paul. What he said to him? He said, Saul, why you do what? Persecute me. He said, how I persecute you? Paul didn't even realize, boy, every saint you killed, boy, you ain't killed them saints, you killed the Lord. He ain't weigh that out. He ain't consider that. Till the Lord told him, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Remember, it tell you that in Proverbs. He said, he that giveth to the poor, give unto his maker. You know what I'm talking about? And he'll repay him. This is why the Lord said that. That's why I tell you, man, I don't care who they fellowship with. I don't care where they at. You treat them as if that's the Lord himself, and he'll reward you for it. Because you would have did it from the pureness of your heart. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of brothers don't tell people that, man. That's why we be out of pocket, bro. Tell them. That's why we be out of pocket, man. That's why the people don't get blessed. Because how we going to talk about we supposed to be the light to the nations, and we got this job to the nations, and all this stuff that brews like the screen, but we don't even love each other. We don't even serve each other, but you want to be a light to the nations. How about you be a light to your brother before you be a light to a stranger? How about you master that first? Then go outside the house. Ain't that right? That's what the book said. Come on, man. Let's get out of here for the night, man. Verse 8.
Or he that exhort on exhortation, he that give with simplicity, he that rule with diligence.
With what?
With diligence.
He that show mercy?
With cheerfulness.
Man, this man say having the ability to rule and have mercy is a gift from God. Notice how he say if he give his son any gifts. Tell him what rule with diligence is, man. See, when we talk about gifts, all anybody want to talk. Anytime somebody talk about a gift of the Spirit, what's the first thing they want to talk about? teaching. That's the first thing they want to talk about. But as we looked at last night, and then he said, as we read in Esther, he said he gave gifts to the who? To the poor, to those who needed deliverance. You know what I'm talking about? We don't even look at the things that the text says actually gifts. We don't even value. We don't even value. Go ahead, man.
To rule is prosotami. That's to set or place before, to set over, to be over, to superintend, to preside over.
So to preside over a body of believers is a gift from God. That's why you're supposed to treat a gift in a precious fashion. See, we were just talking about this last night in general, was we not? It's a lot of goofy niggas who want that gift because they just want to rule. You don't look at it as a gift. That means if God has given you the ability to sit over other people, that means that also you would be a what? A minister, because you under commands. You under commands. So that's where that Matthew 20 coming at. You're not under to be seen, to be known, to become wealthy. That's not what the job is about. The job is about to watch over these people with what? Diligence? Tell them what that diligence means.
That's bidet. That's haste, with haste, earnestness, diligence.
Earnestness. You know what that means? That means with effort. That means you do your job dead serious. Because he said with haste, that means with a what? A sense of urgency. You know what I'm talking about? Not slothful, not lazy, not I don't feel like preaching today, I'm going to take the week off. You know what I'm talking about? No, that's not how that works. You got to be hungry like the werewolf of London out this hole. You know what I'm talking about? You know why? Because it's your job to serve these people. The niggas don't want to do that. They just want to be seen. You know, since they want to be seen, you know what we need to do with them? Sit and put it on the track, man. Let them go on here and make it smack so they can bring some dollars back. You know what I'm talking about? That would, because they hold, that would hold do in them. Shoot, they sell booty. Them niggas need to sell it. That's what they trying to do with the word. Come on, man. Verse 9, man. Look what he tell you, man.
Say love be without dissimulation.
Tell them what dissimulation is for those who don't know.
Anupakritos, that's unfeigned, undisguised, sincere.
Let your love be sincere and stop faking. That's what a lot of people problem is in the word. Boy, your love ain't real. Boy, you're faking. Peter told you that. Have you have unfeigned love of the brethren. Stop being a fake nigga, man. There's a lot of whole niggas in the game, man. Straight up, Hashem. There's a lot of whole niggas in the game, man. It's a lot of niggas are out here, man. They out here busting around they pussy, man. You know what I'm saying? We need to run them niggas off the block. You ever used to see niggas run niggas off the block? You ever seen niggas run a nigga off the block? You need to start running these niggas off the block. You can't serve here. You can't sell that trash here, man. Get them niggas off the block. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stop calling these niggas pussies. We're gonna call them what it is. These niggas is bussies. Because they got boy coochie. You know what I'm saying? Niggas pussies out here, man. You know what I'm talking about? AIDS infested, straight rotted out pussy holes is what these niggas is, man. You know what I'm talking about? For real though, somebody need to say it. Because these people don't care about us. I told you I hate these niggas because they don't love us. These niggas will look you in the face and know you going to hell and encourage you to go. Claiming that they servants of God. What them boys said, the prophets of the Lord are back. Where they at? I ain't seen none. I seen a nigga with a clown suit on. What I seen? Abigail, what you doing? You over there, Abigail? Yeah, that's what you doing. Come on.
He said, "Abhor that which is evil.
Hate that which is evil.
Cleave to that which is good.
Be what?
Kindly affection one to another with brotherly love.
And honor.
Preferring one another."
Tell them what it means to prefer. You don't got to hit one another. Oh, that's obvious.
That's to go before and show the way, to go before and lead, to go before as a leader, to lead the way for others.
And respect, lead the way for one another. Go ahead.
Not slothful in business.
Stop being a lazy bastard. Talking about it's a lion in the street. I can't go to work. So sorry behind up, you punk bastard. You know what I'm talking about? That was wrong. I told you that's what the niggas do. I ain't seen niggas say it in a long time. But boy, about 2010, 2011, boy, you'll see dudes on Facebook talking about I can't go out and work. I'm a prophet of the Lord. I must do the work of the Lord and post scriptures on Facebook from 8 in the morning to 5 in the evening. That man ain't tell you. I ain't seen nobody say that in a long time. I used to see people say that all the time about a decade ago. Shalom, Sister Kelly. If I'm a prophet of the Lord, I cannot work. I must be on the internet to post word repeatedly. I'm gonna tell you like this here, man. I ain't gonna tell you no lie, boy. Well, if you a grown man out here, man, talking about you preaching some word, man, and you got a wife and kids, boy, and you won't get your sorry behind up and get a job, boy, I hope you go to hell. I ain't saying nobody got to be rich, boy, but that's ridiculous. Come on, man. They got all y'all out here triple beaming.
It's not your feet, son.
That junk ain't cool. Y'all know what the book say about that, don't you? What the book say, Stanley? What the book say about it? You done did what? If any man don't do what? Take care of his own, even those. And guess what? We done went through that before. That's all through the text. Boy, Yahuwah took care of you when you was wicked. You can't sit here and say you a God, boy, and you ain't finna do that. Let me go ahead and clarify, because you know some niggas say, but it's hard times. We already know it's hard times. But nigga, you ain't even timed. You ain't checked the time. You ain't clocked on no time. You ain't salt no time. You out the house rubbing your nuts.
Boy say he hard.
Yeah, dude posted about that junk earlier today, talking about saying submission to a woman is like calling her a female dog. I say, man, a lot of these niggas ain't worth submitting to, man. Man, let me tell y'all, brother, son, man, too, man. So you can talk to these boys out here, man. Y'all done heard me say this before. Man, stop letting them niggas think just because they in the word of women supposed to submit to them and you niggas hoes. That junk ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. A lot of women won't say it out loud or y'all will call them wicked for it. But boy, if that woman got to take care of you, bro, she can't submit to you, bro. She can't submit to you, bro. Because the only way she can submit to you, man, if she taking care of you is if you pimping. And you sucker niggas ain't got enough game, charisma, stash, or flair to do any of that. You know what I'm talking about? Because, nigga, I'm talking about, when you talking about pimping, that means when she get the check, she give it to you. And she ain't even upset she give it to you. And she don't get, if it's $1,000, she don't give you 800 and keep 2, nigga. She give you the whole rack. And say, baby, I'll be back. I'm finna go get another. That's genuine pimping. You niggas not doing that. If she get the bread and she got to pay the bills, my nigga, well, she not finna submit to you, bro. And if you think she is, you a goddamn fool. You know what you need to do. What do you need to do, Civic? He need to walk in his bathroom. He need to turn the lights on. He need to look square in the mirror and say, Father, I have shamed you. And then he need to say the same thing about his natural father. And then he need to slap the dog piss out himself. Because boy, ain't no woman finna submit to you, bro, and she take care of you like you her son, bro. She not gonna do it, bro. She not gonna do it. Don't try to use no word to manipulate that woman with that. You going to hell. You going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? And you know you're going. If you got to try to use word to make a woman submit to you, bro, you've already lost. You've already lost. If you got to open up the text to tell her how to be a woman to you, bro, you've already lost. And I'm not saying you lost because she evil. I'm saying you lost because either you married the wrong woman or you a whole nigga. Or a combination of the two.
It was that video that you were watching when that woman was like, man, what benefit you gonna give me if I gotta go to work and then still go 50-50 with you?
Oh, but that woman was going off. She was mad about that.
And them dudes like, you supposed to submit.
How?
She can't do it, bro.
She like, man, I'm better off staying in my damn apartment. Why would I move with you?
Yeah, that boy's wild. That nigga was wild for that. You know what I'm saying? You want this woman to come move in your house and split your rent.
And then say submit.
And then say submit to me. And with no plan in your life, just submit to me. Because I got a wee-wee and God said I'm your head. Boy, you going to hell, boy.
She does ask me, what's your plan then?
But she know where that problem come in at? You so worried about getting a woman to submit versus submitting to God and submitting to yourself. You ain't got, dude said that earlier. I said, man, I've never in my life looked at a woman talking about submit unto me. She either going to do it or I'm going to keep going. I'm not finna be going back and forth with no woman talking about you need to submit to me. If I got to talk to her like that, that means she don't like me. I'm gone. I'm not doing all that, man. That's ridiculous. I'm not doing all that, man. For what? I got to question my own manhood if I got to look at a woman and tell her, why don't you submit to me? And that's not saying that I'm necessarily doing anything wrong. That just tells me I might have married the wrong woman. You know what I'm saying? Because why am I stepping? That's just like this here, man. Dude said this today, and I agree with that there, man. And I seen a lady say this here, and all the men got mad. She said, baby, if you got to ask for some vagina, she don't like you. I say, she ain't lying. Because if she like you, you ain't got to be, what you going to say? More vagina, please. You don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. Now, you only got to ask when she don't like you. You know what I'm saying? When she like you, you ain't got to ask. There's going to be some initiation going on. Ignition. That's your favorite song, man. You used to listen a lot to it. You danced to it all the time, didn't you? Yeah, you did. I can see you right now. You just did the key to drive like you driving the car. My take on tell it. He known you a long time. He know what you like to enjoy doing. She just dance to that song. Why did I know this nigga was gonna go way somewhere else? You know he do it every time. I wasn't ready for that. I'm sorry. I didn't intend for that to happen. No, I wasn't actually. I actually thought he said you were gonna dance to it like he said you was a bad driver last night. And I crapped out, and that's on me.
Roll the dice.
I did, and it went somewhere I didn't want to go. That's what a dude said earlier today to me. I'm one of them dudes. I don't need no Cialis. So I said, brother, I ain't gonna know you like that. Why is you talking about this? Please keep that to yourself. But listen, man, that's not the move, my G. That's not the move. It's a lot of dudes be in their word, man. They be on that, man. That's not the move, man. When a woman like you, you ain't gotta ask her to submit to you. She gonna do it anyway. But I will tell you this here, though, boy. If she taking care of you, man, and I told y'all that, boy, I learned that before I was in the word, boy. She gonna punish you, bro. She got to take care of you, bro. She gonna punish you, bro. She gonna punish you. I'm gonna tell y'all this here, man, and we gonna move on, man. Shalom, Sister Tradina, man. To teach your sons, man, your nephews, your young cousins. You know what I'm talking about? Man, don't let them move in no woman's house, man. Don't let them let no woman take care of you either, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't live your life like that. Don't let him be convinced that it's cool for him to be riding around in her car while she at work over an extended period of time. Your life gonna be miserable. Eventually, that woman gonna grow tired of you, and she gonna give you pure, unadulterated hell. And guess what? I ain't gonna be mad at her. I ain't got nothing to say about her. I ain't got nothing negative to say about her. I'm gonna look at you and say, you the fool. Because if you know you ain't had nowhere to stay, moving in her house wasn't a move unless you had a plan to get your money together. If you got to move in a woman's house because you ain't got nowhere to stay, your wee-wee shouldn't be getting hard. You shouldn't even be looking at no woman. You should be trying to get you some money so you could probably take care of yourself. That's not the move, man. Don't let them young boys go out like that. Especially them these goofy niggas in the word telling them boys that's the move. Nah, man. Don't let them boys go out like that. Where we at with it, too?
We're in verse 11.
Romans 12 and 11.
Say not slothful in business, fervent in ruach.
Tell them what it means to be fervent in the spirit, man.
That's ZO. That's to boil with heat, to be hot.
Keep that heat, baby. Keep it going. Serving the Lord, rejoicing in what?
In hope.
Patient in what?
Tribulation.
Continuing instant.
In prayer.
Distributing.
To the necessity of saints.
Giving to hospitality.
Baruch them which persecute you.
Bless.
And curse not.
Rejoice.
With them that do rejoice.
Weep.
With them that weep.
Of the same mind.
One toward another.
Mind not.
High things.
But be condescended.
To men of low estate.
Be not wise.
In your own conceits.
Recompense.
To no man evil for evil.
Provide things honest.
In the sight of all men.
If it be possible.
As much as lieth in you.
Live peaceably.
With all men.
Dearly beloved.
Avenge not yourselves.
But rather.
Give place unto wrath.
For it is written.
Vengeance mine. I'll repay, saith the Lord.
Therefore.
If your enemy hunger.
Feed him.
If he thirst,
give him drink.
For in doing so, you shall heap coals of fire
on his head. Be not overcome of evil,
but overcome evil with good.
That's just simple. We'll start right there because it's 11 o'clock. and we'll keep on going and try to get to the inheritance part, man. We really want to disseminate through about some of them gifts and what them gifts really is. Everything that's a gift to God ain't necessarily got nothing to do with preaching no word. You know what I'm talking about? It really has something to do with actually being of service one to another. You know what I'm talking about? And actually adding value to each other, so that that when people thank God for you, like that's why I read that. We read that Corinthians, right? When people, that's a great gift if you are able to do something and people give thanks to God for you. That's evidence that God is with and or in you. Stupid niggas don't understand that. You know what I'm talking about? And you know why stupid niggas don't understand that? You know why stupid niggas don't understand that? Because these niggas like the new jack swing on a nigga nuts. A lot of niggas like to give niggas fellatio. A lot of niggas are a respecter of persons as far as man worship is concerned. A lot of people don't understand that this ain't something where you be like, thank you, brother. You know, people say thank you. You know, of course, you be like, thank you, who? But at the end of the day, that is a gift from God. If somebody goes in prayer and say, Abba, in the name of Yahushua, I thank you for this person. And this person, that's a gift of God for the person who God is being thanked for, because that means God gave them the gift to facilitate that. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't look at those things as being the gifts of God, then you'll be on some different type of time. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word, man. Y'all willing, we'll be back tomorrow at 2:30. At 2:30. I appreciate y'all. I bless y'all at the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua. I love y'all. Yahuwah willing, man. What are they? April 1st, man. Night of April 1st is when we're doing unleavened bread, which means that is officially what? 30 days away. Can you count the 30 doors? Out loud? Without using your fingers and toes? Because I can't. I need help. I was a C student. What? Nigga! No, I'm just messing with you. I was a C student because I didn't care. I could have got straight A's, but what was that going to do? I wasn't going to college. Shalom, Air, man. Shoot, I didn't want to go to college. Same way dudes was like, play sports. Play sports for what? I ain't getting a scholarship. If I ain't finna get a free ride to college and some money out of it, why I want to come out here and let a nigga hit all on me? Peace out, Shem, man. That was very observant of you. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. Just weigh and consider. Love y'all. Bless y'all the house of Alahym in the name of Yahushua, man, because I know these niggas hungry in here, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's Leah right there. If you go look on some old tapes, you'll see her when she was a baby. She ain't a baby no more. Y'all willing to tomorrow, man. We make it do what it do.